What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, so you lost. Next time you win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
Folks at home, how you doing tonight? Welcome to a brand new Ike Live show. Want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, first of all. Listen to me, man. We got a great show for you tonight. It's going to be a big one. I'm not even ready. Should I announce the guest, or should I? I want to
yes.
I want to tease it a little more. I want people. Let me just announce it. We've got 2 great guests on tonight. I don't know if it's this order or not, but very excited to have someone outside the fishing industry on for a change, Pete. We've got Zach Rushing on, up-and-coming comedian, personality, cancer survivor, and also fisherman and hunter. So can't wait to have Zach on. It's going to be great. And a good friend of the show, Pete, the one and only Luke Duncan, joining us. Luke's been very controversial lately in his show, Low Budget Live, but we're going to get a chance to corner him a little bit and talk about his show, the industry, and some new stuff he's got going on as well. Yeah. Having my notes here, Brian, this is probably show 105. Probably. It is. That's good. I like that. It's going to be a great show. Listen, I want you to hang in the whole show. We're going to do 2 or 3 episodes, 2 or 3 segments. It's going to be great.
Rust.
It is rust. What the heck was that just flying around,
It was
too?
a
Did you
moth.
see that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me introduce the room. Sitting to my right, the crust of the show, the one and only Pete Glossick. Pete, how you doing tonight?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. You doing all right?
I'm doing better.
Disheveled.
Yeah, a little froggy.
Yeah, you sound a little under the weather.
A little froggy.
Okay.
But we're all right. We're coming out the other side of a cold. We're tip top.
All right. Well, here's the big news. This weekend was the first weekend for Bash University in Kokomo. Tell me a little bit about it. Good crowds, good content.
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. Well, all my guys called me and said what an amazing event it was. Couldn't make it out to that one.
Great lineup, by the way.
Great lineup. David Dudley was there. Brian Thrift was there. And along with many others, Mark Menendez and John Murray talking about jerkbait fishing. But Brian Thrift kind of stopped everybody with his 15-minute golden rule.
Wow.
15 minutes.
15-minute golden rule.
He pulls into a spot, 15 minutes. That he gets them or doesn't get them at practice.
Yeah.
Next spot.
Wow.
15 minutes is all it takes to tell him whether or not there's an abundance of fish, a school of fish.
Yeah.
Or he's going to have to work harder to get them.
Right.
And that 15-minute rule keeps him moving.
Wow.
Gives him the best chance of intersecting a group of fish.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty innovative stuff.
Man,
Hey,
I like that.
Where is Kokomo? Is it the Kokomo from like the Beach Boys song?
It's spelled the same, but I think it's in Indiana. It's a
okay.
little bit south of Chicago.
I got you.
Yeah, big fishing community out there, honestly. I mean, we draw from Indianapolis and Chicago, and there's more high school clubs in the state of Indiana than I think anywhere in the country.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, great crowd. Shout out to Stray Casts and Pat Renwick, who came in to save the day for us.
He's the best.
Unfortunately, the greatest MC of all time, Bass and Bill Dakota, took ill, food poisoning.
Wow.
They suspect.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think it was Pat.
I suspect it was.
You think it was Pat, the poison?
You're saying it wasn't? Come on. Let's be real here.
Yeah. I had no idea. Pat. but Bill was down. He had a rough day one, and he battled through it. And and Pat came in and MC'd the Bass University on day 2.
Nice save, Pat.
Yeah, we appreciate him helping out, and
good one.
don't appreciate him poisoning
Yeah.
Bass and Bill. But
whatever.
And thanks
Shoot
for
or
being-
shoot, right?
That's right. One down, another one fills a spot. When I finish introducing the room, of course, pushing buttons tonight, producer of the show, we've got the one and only Brian the Carpenter.
That's right.
Brian, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man.
Good.
Got my old homie back right here.
Got the old homie back, sitting next to Brian, the one and only Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Fathead, a.k.a. Wharf.
I wish you guys could see Dave typing with one finger right
A little,
now.
little less handsome than Rich, but I'm working on it. It's not my good side. I'm sorry.
Now, Dave, have you ever sold a piece of real estate before?
Define.
Have you sold a house yourself through the black market or anything like that? Or
Maybe I don't know. No, never sold real estate.
okay,
Rich has a laptop and nice shoes when he comes over your place, so I don't have either of that.
he does. Well, he claims to be working, and this is like he's working, and then he comes over here.
He's almost like the mafia guy that gets the check from like the no-show job. I don't know how. 'Cause he's fishing all the time. How's he selling a house?
Dude,
Like
he fishes a lot.
No, like Melanie's cousin, my wife's cousin, sells
Yeah.
houses, and she's never available because she's always selling houses
Yeah,
and doing closing.
she's
This dude-
hustling. She's working.
This dude's like this.
Dude, I don't want to throw
Like Batman. Like,
I love it. I love it, dude. I like watching it. I like sitting back and just being like, imagine if my life was like that. It'd be
Yeah,
pretty
no,
awesome.
he's like the Batman of fishing, dude. He's just there.
He's like
with a
the
rod in
Batman.
his hand, open seat.
No, so we fished. Brian, I got to throw him under the bus real quick. I have to. So we're out there fishing, and Rich, you and Rich, we're out on the upper Chesapeake Bay like a month ago fishing. And, dude, we're fishing, and we're starting to figure it out, and he's into it. And all of a sudden, like, he gets this call that he needs to take, and he's like, and he like quick signals me and Brian, like, shh, I got to take this real quick. And he gives us a signal. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And he like picks up the phone. Oh no, right now I'm out inspecting the property and things are, things are all. And I have my agent right now. We're meeting for a rendezvous, and I'm
on.
like, son of a bitch. I'm like, he's got the whole scam. He's got it figured out, man.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome, but
Not anymore. I think he just got notice from his boss.
he did just now. There's this boss chiming in on the IM.
Got an important meeting tomorrow morning.
That's right.
He has to take.
Rich is a good dude. Rich is in Kokomo, so Rich, we're thinking about you. Didn't mean to throw you under the bus. And then, of course, it's not just us four tonight. We have a special fifth with us. The one and only Zach
Zog.
is in the house tonight. And Zach has an official new nickname. Brian the Carpenter?
Zog.
Zog is the new one now.
Is that the bad guy from Superman? Or that was Zod? That was Zod.
That was
dude.
Zod.
Yeah,
This
receding
is
hairline.
Zog.
Can you have in this day and age? I'm sorry, Zach. Can you have a receding hairline bad guy anymore in this day and age? Like Zod had no hair.
He
Like,
did.
How can you look like a detective or something?
I know.
Be a super villain.
And here's the other thing about Zog. Zog wore fake leather from Zara. Remember the leather?
Dude,
Shit was awesome.
you're right, dude.
You remember that the
They
fake
had-
leather?
with high boots and they were
Oh,
and they were
dude,
plum,
it
and they were
was-
plum smugglers.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It was so good.
Zog, everybody.
Zog, everybody. Zog, how you doing tonight? What do you think?
Hold on, let me turn this
Oh, yeah,
mic on.
turn Zog's mic on. All right, Zach, so you officially have 2 nicknames now.
Yeah.
That's, that's decent. Like, all of us end up with at least a dozen, and you're a couple months with us, 3-4 months with us, and you've already got 2. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, are there emotions running through you right now? Like, we just hit you with the Zog tonight. Are there new emotions or feelings running through your gullet right now?
I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm feeling it.
You like it
I
better?
like
Yeah.
it.
I like Trevor.
You like Trevor?
Trevor's
Yeah.
a good one.
I can work with Trevor.
Do you know the
Okay.
origin of Trevor?
No. Oh no.
Enlighten us.
There is an.
Please.
Are we talking about it or we're not talking about it? All right,
And
we're going to.
I think you ought to have. I think you ought to have your uncle
All right.
make you a logo.
Here,
Zog.
here we go. Let's leave it up to the fans. Let's leave it up to
Definitely.
like
the
a
fans.
symbol, like Prince.
Yeah, Brian the Carpenter, give me a full screen of Zog right now. We're going to be giving you something here from the Ike Live Show.
That's right. We damn right will. Hold
We'll
on.
find something. We'll give it to you. Before we get into all this, let me tell you this show is brought to you by some amazing sponsors. Wouldn't be possible without them. Of course, Mystery Tackle Box is the presenting sponsor of this show. I'm happy to say my uncle is now a Mystery Tackle Box subscriber.
Really?
Yeah, for Christmas he got the Mystery Tackle Box. So pretty awesome. Let me run down some more of these. Dr. Squatch, TH Marine, Primal Urge Foods, Liquid Mayhem, Flambeau, Founders, Tackle Warehouse. Founders Beer, and we're going to, in the second segment, we're going to unravel a new one. But we started with the Solid Gold. This has become a routine. We start with solid beers like All Day IPA and Solid Gold, and then we highlight a beer of the night in segment 2. Also brought to you by Bash University, Pete, and a lot of people saying to themselves, damn, I couldn't make Kokomo. They want to see this stuff. They can still do it, right?
Oh, man. Well, they can see it at bashu.tv. Right now, we've got, it's Jerkin month at the Bash University. And we've gotten some really cool memes on the Jerkin month promo.
Wow.
But it's all about the Rapala, shadow wrap, and we're giving 2 of those away. The Ike Quotient Tackle Box, $50 gift pack for all annual subscribers to Bashu TV. You can't make it, but you know what? If you can make it, go over to thebashuniversity.com because next week we're going to be in Gadsden, Alabama. Then the week after that, I'm going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you're going to be in South Carolina. Is that right?
Yes, I will.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
I think you're right.
And then we have our final Bash University. Can't wait to get there. We've not been to Minnesota, but we're going to be
It's gonna be a good one.
We're going to be up to Minnesota, and we're having a great time. You can check it out on social media, seeing what's going on. But come out and see us at Bash University.
All right, now here's something interesting. Brian the Carpenter, click, click. I want to let everybody know this is groundbreaking, and why it took 6 years
What's that?
to come up with this. I have no idea. Instead of all these weird Ike Live codes, like
Oh, dude,
Ike Live 25, Ike Live Party, PARTY, bullshit like that, finally, somebody had the wherewithal
Live.
to create one universal Ike Live
Let me
code.
just say, I've been champion for this from day one, but it doesn't happen unless someone takes the lead. Miss Janet got on everybody.
Ah!
She reached out to all the
Yes,
sponsors
Miss Janet.
and
Thank
had
you.
them unify it.
Okay.
Ike Live.
Ike Live. So
No
listen.
matter where you go,
Yes.
use the code Ike Live.
Yes.
You're at the register buying some beer.
Yes.
Ike Live.
Everywhere.
Amazon, Ike Live.
There you go. Wherever you go.
That's right.
And you solicit a product from one of these great sponsors. BU, TH Breed, Dr. Squatch, Prime Millers, Liquid Mayhem, Flambeau, Founders, Tackle Warehouse. Any of them. Real Snot. Any of them. Use the promo code Ike Live. That's all you need now. And you'll get an amazing discount of some sort. This is going to be a great show. Brian Carpenter,
Yeah.
we're going to start out just by doing a little bit of recap what's been going on.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that. Before we do that, let me remind everybody, we want to hear from you, man. Please, if you have a question or comment, hit us up on the IM. We've got Zach tonight monitoring
Zog.
not only the IMs, but also Facebook. So if you're watching over on Facebook, feel free to comment. Also,
yeah. There's
Yeah.
like and share the Facebook post. We're giving
Please
away
do
that
it.
Ike Live gift bag. Right
yes, look at this. Luscious bag right there, full of all those sponsor products. I mean, it legitimately, Pete, weighs, I'm going to say 20 to 30 pounds. It's a loaded, legitimately. Feel that. Is that about a correct guess?
That's right on.
Right
on
around
the
there.
money.
Like and share the Facebook feed tonight. You're automatically entered to win this. We're going to announce it at the end of the third segment. It's going to be really, 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 really good. And finally, Pete, before we get into it, let's thank our military. There's some weird shit going on in the world right
Man.
now. Want to thank the military, active.
Close call in
veterans.
Iraq.
Yes.
Iran.
Men and women, thank you for what you do. Police, firemen, EMT. Tell you a quick story. I want to give some props to my man Charles. I had to do an appearance up in Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. And we were flying out of Philly. And the gate we went out of, we were flying out of F. And we went there, and there were literally, I want to say 30 service men and women, like getting ready to go. You could tell, you know. And, dude, Charles, like, literally ran to him and thanked every single one of them, dude. Which was, I was watching it, and I was like, you know, usually I see one of them, I'll like, hey, thank you for your service, you know. But, dude, he, like, ambushed them all to, like, shake their hand, and I thought it was just amazing, you know, just to see him do that.
Nice gesture.
But he's that guy.
He is that guy. It was great. It was
He's
great
a
to
good
see
dude,
it. Yeah,
man.
he's a
Like,
good dude.
You guys, I don't know how you found him. It's the continuation of your endless luck. But you found the one guy that would go do that. You know
I found
what I mean?
Pete first, so Pete was my first find.
It's yin and yang. you
Yeah.
know, we balance each other.
Yeah, but I thought it was awesome, and it is a weird time right now. So when you see the military, please give him a handshake, give him a hug, tell him thank you. Be really appreciated. Why I'm talking about that, Pete, I want to start with that, which is I went to be a speaker at a conference.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Mike, hold that thought. Speaker
Okay.
at a conference.
All right, you got something came through. Okay.
Donnie Sniffle said, if Ike says the gift bag's 20 to 30 pounds, it's probably going to weigh 17. I had to interrupt.
Donnie might have to win something.
Donnie Sniffle just wanted
Donnie Sniffle.
just send his info in, Dave.
You hear that,
Donnie Sniffle, send your info and you just want a piece of Becky's fudge. I know it's going to happen by the time you get it. I don't know if it'll be any good, but you just won this.
Donnie's in the running for a 3-month Mystery Tackle Box subscription.
He's definitely in the running for that.
Yes.
It's a giant.
Ma'am.
Donnie Sniffle.
Yeah. Oh.
That's
No. Don't you fucking do it, dude. I'll kill your mic. Don't you smack your lips.
All right, I won't do it. But let me bring something up here. I think I could safely do this because I'm not going to name any names, but it's along these lines. I might as well talk about it. I had no intention of talking about this, but I might as well. We had a Major League Fishing call a couple weeks ago with the entire group, so all 80 anglers. And we use a call-in system, Pete, where everybody can listen, but nobody can physically, so you can't talk, and but it gives you the ability to message in your comments, right? And so we were debating the whole thing on, everybody's mad because there's a lot of, I don't want to say mad, there's a lot of angst out there because they think Major League Fishing is a dink fest. It's a bunch of small fish, which I disagree with, but whatever, that's the sentiment out there. And so we're having this call, and we're talking about this subject, and somebody brings a message through.
Can you see the messages?
I can see the messages, and the freaking message has the dude's name attached to it. Yes. I'm not going to say the dude's name, other than he's a douchebag. But the message comes through, and it's like, oh, well, one of the major problems with this is, certain people keep yelling, big one on every fish, even if it's a 1-pounder. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I mean, in my mind, I was saying that. First of all, I see your name. I know, But second of all, dude, it's okay to show excitement. I'm the best thing they got in that Major League Fishing. Let me tell you right now. So, it's okay to get excited. Dude, if you grow up in New Jersey, a 1 3/4 pounder is a giant.
It wins events.
Believe me, dude. I would have loved to have one on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't have a single bass, so I would have loved to have a 1 3/4.
Not one single bass.
So shut your mouth.
You know who you are.
That. You know who you are.
What do his initials rhyme with?
I can't tell you. So let's keep going. So I was at this event, Pete. Really, really cool. It's the NPAA, National Professional. Wait, did I do this right? NP. Is it AA? National Professional
Anglers Association.
Yeah, NPAA, National Professional Anglers Association. Really cool group of professionals in the sport of fishing, right? So listen to this. This isn't a group of just tournament guys, like pro bass tournament guys, right? This was pro bass tournament guys, walleye pros, crappie pros, full-time guides.
There's crappie pros?
There are crappie pros.
Like an actual circuit?
Oh, yeah.
With jerseys?
There's crappie master circuit.
Dang.
Yep.
Wally Backman or something?
Yep. Wally Marshall.
That's him.
Reps, guides,
Charles.
people in the retail industry. Like anyone who considers their profession, in the sport fishing industry can join this group and have and enjoy the benefits of it.
Podcast producers.
Podcast producers. It was a great show, and I had a chance to meet some great people. But the highlight of it, you ready for this, Dave? The highlight of it is the speaker before me. They had 2 keynote speakers. Speaker before me was the one and only Mr. Morris.
Nice.
Johnny Morris, John
Wow.
Morris.
Legend.
And it was funny because I had been in a room with him before, several times, but never physically met him, right? And just always kind of felt like he probably doesn't want to meet me. Probably doesn't, whatever. I don't know. I just had this view of it. And then...
Was he the guy with the little fish comment?
No, no. And then I meet him for the first time, and he's the most down to earth, normal freaking dude you'd ever meet. In fact, he had a T-shirt made for me, like I met this guy and I'm like, oh my god, like in my own mind, I'm like, man, I think I had some preconceived notions about what he would be like, and I thought he was just a very, very nice, down to earth guy when I met him, whether he is or not.
Did you tell him we got banned from band?
No, no, but what?
Like, hey, boss, can you unload that band?
Yeah, no, but what initial, like, after I met him and all that went down, like, I really did feel bad. But like
for Crank calling Bass
for
Pro.
Crank calling Bass Pro Shops, I felt bad. Even though I never talked to him directly,
True.
obviously, I felt bad. Like 15% of me,
Yeah,
you know, just like a sliver.
that's fair.
What would have been awesome if they had like an undercover boss one time and he was answering the phone.
And we
And he'd
cracked
be like,
it.
hey, you asshole, remember that time
Yeah.
you asked for the
Yeah, yeah. But no, but I thought I met him. I thought it was great. Like
Did you get any time to
I
speak
got,
to him, or did you
I
just
got
meet
about
him?
5 minutes in between our seminars, and then I went down to eat lunch, and then like out of the blue, he came down and sat next to me.
Wow.
And like literally was eating off a plate like everybody else, like picking up lunch meat with his hands, is eating it. I'm like, I like this guy. Like it's, you know what I mean?
He's
It's
a
hard
Ronald,
to-
he's the Ronald Reagan of
yeah.
bass fishing.
He is. He
It
is.
wasn't like one person.
No. He's the most down to earth guy. And you know, even the conversation, like he talked the whole, like he wanted to ask me questions the whole time. He wanted to talk about kids fishing. He wanted to talk about getting new people involved in the sport. I'm like, this is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was totally
yeah.
awesome.
Did-
But reality did set in a little bit when
When
I'm
he
like,
was like, piss boy.
no. But I'm like, because me and Charles had like hell of a time getting here. You know, flying commercial. Like flight was canceled Friday night. We had to get here. Like literally showed up like 30 minutes before my seminar. Like we killed ourselves to get there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, when'd you get in last night? He's like, no, I flew in this morning. I'm flying out in just about an hour. I got to go to South Carolina. You know, got my jet out there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Wow.
See it right
Pretty
out there.
cool.
There's levels to this fishing thing.
Yeah. I'm definitely not on that level.
Did you ask him like any tips on world domination? Or?
Did not. No. I honestly,
first.
yeah. No, I'd love to corner him. I would love to have a day with him, you know, to be able to corner
Yeah.
him on stuff. But
I mean, look what he's done. I mean, he started out as a pro angler like you and me,
yep.
and he built Bass Pro Shops.
An amazing store.
Smart
the most
guy.
cleanest, immaculate stores you'll ever go into.
Yeah.
Commanding the bass boat market, just owning everything, and just such a big part of building this sport that we all love. And he started out fishing tournaments.
Fishing tournaments. He saw, dude, it's amazing. But if you look at all really great businessmen, they see it before it happens, you know. And I think he saw, I guess it was his father that had the original store in Springfield, had a hunting and fishing store. And, something in his genetics saw the potential for what that could become. And look at it now.
Because it didn't exist.
It's
They
amazing.
created it.
It's amazing. I mean, I would put all the greats, Rockefellers, all those great businessmen, they see something and they're so good at making it a reality, I don't know what it is,
Well, that's awesome that you finally got to meet him. I know all these. I've never even been in the same room with him in all the travels
Yeah.
that I've been
And it's
around
funny,
the country.
interesting, that same
Love to.
that same spark, Dave, whatever that is, our very own Brian the Carpenter had that all the way up until he got that Huffy, and it just killed. That spark just went out. It extinguished it. I don't know what. It might have been the oversized tires.
It might have been the abuse he sustained from his friends.
It was probably the deepest shoulder slunch in Christmas history. From ear height to kneecaps, dude. Hey, Donnie Sniffle, the one that said you bet the bag, he wants to donate whatever you're going to give him to the Ike Foundation. He don't even
Wow,
want
Donnie.
nothing.
Very nice.
Good job, Donnie.
Dr. Sniffles.
Not like Chris from New York could take it all. He's got like 55 bags sitting in his house.
Dude, Chris from New York's a hoarder. You know
he
he does.
didn't even open the last 10
You
yet.
know,
They're
he's got
sitting-
everything
they're
piled up in the
yeah,
back.
They're sitting in the drunk closet.
Just taking notes on it. Anyway, to make a long story short, it was great. It was a great experience. And then I flew from there. This gets better, Pete. I flew from there straight to Twin Cities to visit with a good friend of ours, a good friend of the show, the one and only Dan Quinn, dude.
DQ.
So fun hanging out with Dan,
Yeah. I saw some of the pictures of the ice fishing excursion.
Very, 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 very cool experience. So we got to do a little bit of product development, which is, dude, honestly, what we do in the fishing industry, we teach, we fish, we tournament fish, we do all this cool stuff, get kids involved. But that side of it, the product development side, dude, I love it. Like, honestly, I love it. Like, if I didn't have an opportunity to do that with these companies, it'd be a big missing link for me, because, it's like sitting down at a table, with decision makers saying, here's what's hot, here's some ideas, here's what I saw. Oh, I saw this. Oh, what about, you know what I mean? It's like sharing ideas and taking something conceptual and creating a product out of it, dude. It's fucking the best. I mean, you did it. You designed crankbaits. It's such a rewarding thing. So we got to do that, which is really cool. And by the way, let everybody know, Rapala launching Rapala for other people, launching some really cool new products here. In the next little bit, you're going to hear about them. And on the VMC side, you're going to see some really cool stuff happening in the next 12 to 24 months.
I'm just curious, because I've done some development, but it's probably a lot different from Rapala. It's a massive company. What's that look like? Are you like in a boardroom with whiteboard or computer graphics going over ideas?
Yeah.
With people? How's that work?
So the early stages of the PD product development meetings, like what we did, is exactly that. Dude, it's literally, I bring in notes, sketches, I bring in boxes of other lures or colors that I already have, and it is literally some of their designers sketching stuff as we're talking, writing on a whiteboard, exactly what you said. Some of it involves, they have this amazing tank right there at the offices in Rapala, so we're able to actually get existing product and throw it in and look at it and be like, oh my God,
Right.
So, some of the ideas are totally brand new from the ground up. Some of them are, like the Tokyo rig, are things that I've seen other places. And I'm like, hey, man, this is a cool concept, Let's expand on this. Let's make this better. Some of it's that, too. It's not all, starting from nothing. Some of it's trying to make things better as well.
So what happens next? Like, do they build prototypes?
Yeah.
Or maybe you have 10 ideas, they pick 2, or how's that work?
So it'll get down to where they start to do some protos of stuff. Now, here's the deal. The more basic the bait, the lot easier it is to get those initial samples, right? So soft plastics, the absolute easiest. Terminal tackles, probably next in line. Lead wire style baits, probably the next in line. And then crankbaits, hard baits, whether it's balsa or plastic, is the last one. They're very, very, very difficult. So there's a longer time out to when you physically get the first one, But there's a lot of work on their end that involves that other stuff you said, which is actual sculpting, CAD design, and I can't do any of that. I don't take any of that credit. That's their designers. That's people that know how to do that stuff, But it's such a cool process, to see it from start to finish, even just colors. When the Ike's Custom Ink colors came out, and I'll be honest, those baits, I don't know if you remember the story, but those baits, they came in and said, what do we need? What colors? And I said, man, I've got about 12 colors from other manufacturers, don't hate me, that I've used in my lifetime that are so key. I said, I want to bring those to you. And I said, the other thing is, and we've been doing this for years. I said, fading those baits out and adding a little bit of that fine glitter. They were the two things that we were doing for years. I mean, the Top Rod days, we were doing that shit. We called baking them. You put them in the window. You put them in the window of your truck. You let them sit a couple weeks. You turn them over. And the nail polish, too, the clear coat with fine glitter. And so, they were able to take that stuff and work. And I think the colors, I want to say a few of them came out right like the second try. And other ones we had to go back and forth 7, 8, 9, 10 times, So it's a cool process of getting it. But then when you finally get it, you feel very, you're thrilled, you know what I mean? Because you put a lot of, how much work you put into it.
And then when you catch fish with them,
and then
or win tournaments with them, it's even better.
Yeah, and I would say, Brian Carpenter,
Mike,
I'm going to venture to say, has there been a more successful color than the Demon color in the DT series? That color, dude, when I look at a lot of the wins, and I'm not saying me, I'm saying tournament wins, from Randy Howell to Terry Bolton last year. A lot of wins on that color, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one they got perfect and knocked out of the park. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, somebody, Barger wants to know if you're bringing back the flat side in the DT series.
Yes. So, man, I don't know how much I can tell you. Yes, it's coming back better. So the best thing I can say, maybe this is the way I approach this. If you paid really close attention to the Bassmaster Classic last year, you saw Ott and me and just a few of the Rapala guys throwing
Rapala.
a DT flat that was modified, and not by me, by Ott. And there's a good chance you're
It
going to
was
see
Ottified.
you're going to see that
Modified.
really, really soon. Speaking of Ott Defoe, Pete Klusick, I know we've got a lot of fans right now that say, God, Ott's a classic champ. He's so good. I'd love to see Ott. They can.
At the Bass University.
When is it? At .com or
go to-
in person next weekend.
At
Gadsden.
Gadsden.
Yeah.
Is that where you're going to be?
Yeah. Do I know the schedule more than you do?
You do.
Hey, Mike, Pete, speaking of Bass U, Matt from Wisconsin has been binging on the Bass U while hitting the weights.
Matt.
Ah, nice job.
And he
man.
wants to know what's up with the 13-foot fluoro leader you guys are talking about with braid. He thinks it seems a little excessive, man.
Man, fluoro leaders is an interesting topic because everybody's got a different perspective on it, and guys like Seth Fider are throwing a lot longer leader than that, and everybody's got a different perspective. I personally use a relatively short leader, but there's a school of thought that's moving into those longer leader lengths, and it's a big deal.
Let me talk about that. Because I'm starting to get on that train. So listen to this, Dave. If I'm fishing super gnarly heavy cover, right, like skipping docks where my chances of getting hung up on something are really high, I'm using a short leader, right? Because I want that strength of braid a majority of that fight. So I'm literally using 14, 16 inches to, maybe 2 feet. But on a lot of the other stuff, here's my new rule of thumb, and I did this all last year, is I tie my knot, the braid to floor knot, and once it gets into the reel, okay, so I'm coming off a filler spool that's about that size. Once that knot gets to the reel, I count to 3 real slow as I reel it in. 1, 2, 3. It's a lot of fluorocarbon.
That's a lot of leader.
And, dude, I've had a lot of success with it because Brian the Carpenter, jump in on this.
Yeah.
The shorter the leader, the less properties of that fluorocarbon you have as far as the density of it. And in places like Current, you remember back, dude, a year ago when you were busting me and Eric's ass by using straight fluoro versus fluoro to a braid leader. You had the properties of fluoro all the way to the reel.
I mean, that was part of it.
I was part of it. The color was
Well,
part
the
of
part
it.
was,
But
Talent.
holla.
the talent had nothing to do with it, but there is something to that, dude. You know, and I like that long floor
Yeah.
leader to help let the bait do its thing, man.
Yeah.
You know, especially like little finesse shit.
Right, and you
know?
could see the opposite being true if you wanted to take the properties out and you needed more of a floating
You
presentation.
want more buoyancy,
You can
less fluorocarbon.
Yeah, lower your leader.
Yeah.
Seth has the coolest concept of line leader length that I thought was cool. But he uses it a lot when he's drop shotting and fishing vertically, and he wants his leader knot to be at the water surface.
Wow.
That's how he picks it, no matter what the depth.
So he's fishing a 20-foot.
Yep, 20-foot leader.
Wow.
And 30-foot leader.
That's extreme.
Yeah.
That's extreme.
Yeah, he wants
Wow.
it there. And when that braided line is no stretch.
Yeah.
And when the longer your leader, even though Flora has low stretch, the longer your leader, you're going to have more stretch. It's going to allow you some more stretch. And there's a lot of conditions where you don't want that shock of the short leader.
Right.
So you got every fishing situation is different, but it's a great question about leader length. It's something that's very dynamic, I think. Just like you said, depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And again, tune into Bash U. Go to bashu.tv.
It's got schooled up.
A lot of great art videos.
And
on
come
that.
see Ott down at Gaston, Alabama.
Yeah, come see Ott next week.
Next weekend.
Pete and Mike are my Johnny Morris, man. Come on.
Yeah. Getting back to it. So, second half of my trip last weekend, Pete, did a nice PD meeting with Dan and some Cyril from VMC and a couple of the folks there. And then I got a chance to ice fish for 2 days. It's become an annual thing where I combine an ice fishing trip with this product development meeting.
And
Usually everything's locked up. Ice was shitty this year, but on the St. Croix River, which is in Hudson. Hudson's about 20 miles from the Twin Cities.
20 miles.
The St. Croix River, for whatever reason, gets better ice before any other place. So we got a chance to ice fish, and we're going to do sturgeon fishing and smallmouth fishing. And the first night of sturgeon fishing, it's unbelievable. The whole process leading up to this moment was unbelievable. Okay, so I'll give you the quick version. You have a four-wheeler. On the four-wheeler is a sled. Pulling in the sled is a pop-up tent, heaters, rod holders, bait, camera equipment, because I filmed all this. There's all this stuff.
Jack Daniels.
Beer. And it's warm. So Dan's like, the ice has been about 7-8 inches, but it's warm. And I'm like, 7-8 inches. And I'm thinking about that. I'm like, that's not a lot of ice for all this weight, you know? 3 people, Dan, me, and Austin, the camera guy, all this equipment, a four-wheeler, and we're going to go on like 6, 7, 8 inches of ice. I'm like nervous about it. So we go to get on where he's been launching this four-wheeler, and there's a gap that's probably 3 feet of water before the ice starts.
Jump it. What?
Yes.
Gotta jump.
Dude, I looked at Austin. Austin looked at me. We look at Dan. We're like, what? And he's like, the river must have come up a little. The ice is melting. The river come up, you know? River's getting higher. Don't worry about it. I'm like, what the hell?
You got your life vest on.
Yeah. So he literally, the four-wheeler in the water and hops up on this ice. And me and Austin have to like jump to the ice, scared the whole time. Be lying because I don't know ice. I only go once a year. I don't know it that much.
That's real man stuff.
It's crazy. So we get out there. What's interesting because he's using an ice fishing depth finder. It's basically it was a Humminbird unit, but it's got a GPS on it with a chip too, right? And so he's got it. It's a portable unit. So he's driving the four-wheeler, but he's driving the contours like you would in a boat, but he's doing it on top of the ice.
Yeah.
So he takes us and he's got his little waypoint, but he's idling around sort of.
Are you kidding me? Hold on. So he's dodging the skinny ice?
Dude,
is that what you're telling
me?
Not
skin. No. He's on the ice. He's committed. I don't think he cares.
He's doing it like driving around looking for the contours.
He's looking at his unit at
I was half texting somebody. All right, guys.
So he gets to the spot. He's like, "Yeah, this is about it," and gets out, starts setting everything up. So we gotta drill the holes, and there's 4 holes for the sturgeon thing. We drill the holes out. We assemble this tent. We strap it down. It was wind. Dude, there's all this work that goes into it. I'm telling you, dude, you're tired before you even get in there. And finally we get in there and, we're fishing in the most peculiar way. We're using a 1/2-ounce jigging spoon with an upsized hook. So instead of like a number, like a number 5 on it, it's got like a 4, like an extra wide gap, big freaking number 4 hybrid VMC hybrid treble on it. And I'm like, we're going to jig for him or whatever. I'm like, okay. And he's like, no, wait. And then he pulls out the bait. He's got fathead minnows and night crawlers.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I want a piece of night crawler on each hook, a third. And he said, I want a whole minnow hooked in the tail on one point. And I want you to squeeze the other 2 minnows, kill them, and hook them on the other 2 points.
What?
So, dude, after I'm done this whole thing, it's a 1/2-ounce spoon with a big treble hook with, a hunk of meat on it, dude.
Whopper with cheese.
Just a hunk of meat. Like, okay. The spoon glows. It's got the luminescent stuff on it. So I got
this is specific for sturgeon.
For sturgeon.
Okay.
Okay? Because the deal is they're going to bite as that sun goes down 2 hours in the night, and then it's done.
That's it.
It's so specific.
Jesus.
So you light up the spoon because the spoon glows. So you're like heating it up to get it glowing.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is Dan knows we use Liquid Mayhem. He had me bring some.
Yeah.
And I literally just bought the shad stuff. I'm like, well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, no, just glob that stuff on there. So we're like, like just, dude, it looks terrible. There's just Liquid Mayhem all over it. And it stayed on really good because it's cold. It's like
Mayhem stays on.
it stays. If it's staying on better
Yeah.
than normal. So, dude, I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, what is this? You know? And you drop it down there in the hole, and like, he said, he's like, well, you could hold the rod and you could just jig it a little, or he's like, the best bet is just put it in that rod holder. I'm like, what?
Laying a spoon on the
Yeah.
bottom.
He's like, yeah. He's like, the spoon is basically just the vessel to get it down. That doesn't matter. I'm like, okay. So we put it in this rod holder, and we're waiting. Sun's gone down. There's still lights. Sun's gone down. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Not getting bit. Starts getting dark. I could see Dan starting to get excited, you know? Starts to move around. I'm like, man, what's this shit going to look like, you know?
Yeah.
Because we're both using flashers in our holes.
Yeah.
And, the flasher, you can see a line come in. But on the one, that unit that he's using, it actually has 2D on it too. So he's like, man, you'll see that bottom line get thick on the flasher. And on the 2D, it's going to look like the bottom rises up a foot.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's strange. And I'm like thinking in my mind, like, what does that mean?
How
you know?
big that fish must have
like
to be.
what does that mean? So I don't know, like 30 minutes after that, I'm like feeling like, man, this shit ain't gonna happen. It's cold already, and I'm like, because you don't kill them, it's like rare to get one.
Plus, you got the adrenaline dump of the fear of death.
The fear of death, yeah, yeah. And so all of a sudden, I look down, and I see the 2D literally rise up, like it was like we were in 27. I think we were in 27 and a half, and like all of a sudden, dude, we were in like 25, and I'm like, Dan, look. And then when I said that, this other element was so key, which is he hooks a bobber. It's a regular bobber,
Yeah.
but he hooks it on the line.
Yeah.
And he purposely pulls it down so it's hanging down from the base of the rod about 4 or 5 inches. And as I say, look, Dan, look at the bottom. Dan looks, he goes, oh. I see his eyes open up, and we looked over and we saw that float go, boom, and got tight. And I'm like, grab the rod, instantly set the hook, and dude, this fight, minus what I just saw yesterday, this fight was the most incredible thing I've ever experienced, Dave. The best analogy, you know how once in a while we'll snag like a 20, 30-pound carp, bass fishing?
Yeah.
That's the kind of fight it was, dude.
Oh, my God.
So it's this
Through
intense...
an
Under
ice
the ice.
hole.
Through an ice. Dude, the water, think of how cold that water is, right? There's
my
current, it's
God.
cold. This fish is fighting like a saltwater fish. Dude, it's fighting like you'd hook like a GT.
What kind of rod are
Like
you
a
running?
permit.
What kind of rod are you running?
So it's a little bit heavier version of an ice fishing rod. So instead of being like 2 foot long and super whippy, it's about a 4 foot rod in a medium action. So a short rod, medium action, on a 20 or 30 size spinning reel. But here's the deal.
Pound test.
Tied directly to 30-pound braid. Directly to the spoon. And that's the only thing where I felt a little more comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
But, dude, it was, that initial hook set, it was just spool. And all this is on film, by the way. I can't wait for this to come out as Going Ike. And, I'm like, oh, my God, Dan, what do I do? What do I do? No, you're all right. Let him go. There's nothing you can snag on down there. It's all sand here. I'm like, you sure? Sure. All right. And then, then you start to catch up on him. You're like, okay. And then your heart's pounding, and you're like, I'm gaining. And I got him like halfway to the hole, and and this goes on for 5 runs. 5 runs like that. And finally, after that 5th run, so I get him to the hole, and we're like looking. We all have our lights down there. We're looking in the hole. We're waiting to see him. Never see him. As soon as we get just about where we see him, he'd take off again. So about 10, 12 minutes in, all of a sudden, I'm like, man, I'm really gaining on this time. And we see bubbles come up.
Ooh,
And Dan goes, he's ready.
He's ready.
And that was like the sign. I guess they
Wow.
like give up and they exacerbate air. I don't know what it is. So I get him, and finally, now we get him to the hole. And the hole, it wasn't what he calls clean ice, where you could see like crystal clear.
Yeah.
Had a little slush in it,
Yeah.
but you could sort of see around the hole that we cut. And I get him to the hole, and I look down there. Dude, I swear, dude, he was as long as all 4 holes that we cut at the top. Like, no physical way
Oh, my
to get him
God.
through.
and I look at Dan. I'm like, I'm like, we're gonna lose this fish. I like, everything's happening. It's gonna be magic. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment.
We just talked about a sturgeon last show.
Yeah, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment, and dude, you didn't cut big enough holes, Dan. These are 10-inch holes.
God.
And he's like, no, don't worry, just keep him coming. He'll eventually just keep the pressure. His head will eventually come toward the hole. And I'm thinking, there's no way in hell. And all of a sudden, I got him to the hole, and his body turned, and his head started to come up. And dude, Dan sticks his hand in that ice cold water and grabs his gill, and out of this 10-inch hole, it just keeps coming. Dude, all right, put it up, Bri. Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
There it goes. Unbelievable. I mean, one of the best fights in my life. One of the coolest fish. Dude, literally prehistoric fish. You ever feel a shark, Dave? You felt a shark?
Yeah.
That sandpaper rough?
Yeah.
Exactly what that thing feels like. Just, you see that tail, almost Shark XS tail on it with that power. Dude, this sucker mouth on the bottom that is protruding. So it's like, it's hanging below his face. Like 3 or 4. It's the most unbelievable fish in the world.
That's wild.
It was such a great experience. I'm getting excited just talking.
So now
seriously.
Pete, Brian, and I have both seen you in that mode where you got something special on.
Yeah.
What kind of shit were you talking to your guide? Like, I know you had to be like, you better not be lying to me, you mother. I know it. Like, what were you saying to him, dude?
As I was fighting the fish?
Yes, I know you had to be talking shit to him when he was encouraging you that it's not going to come off.
Yeah,
I know it.
I
Were
wasn't
you?
talking to shit. I was
No?
honestly scared. Like I was scared because I kept seeing it come off, and I kept thinking, "What am I? I'm going to rip this tent apart. I'm going to. I don't know. I'm going to. I didn't want it to happen. And no, it was hooked good. It came in
Wow,
good, and
that's beautiful, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was very cool. We got some pictures and put it head first, and that was another cool part to release. We put it head first back in that hole, and let it go, and literally, you saw that tail flapping into the darkness.
That's
to grow
wild.
who knows how big. And that in Dan's mind was a small to mid-sized fish.
Oof.
And I don't care because it was still an amazing experience. But look at that thing, and that was a small to mid-sized fish.
But what do those twats normally feed on that you got to do all that crazy shit just to catch one?
So
Gluing and shining
I
stuff.
have no
like, what-
idea.
And who figures this out?
Who
Spends 100 years out there ice
Those
fishing.
twats.
I mean, when it's that cold, those guys are fish heads like we are, and
Yeah.
they want to keep fishing, so they figured this stuff out. But the interesting thing is Dan basically said in that system, in that river system, the St. Croix River, they never catch them except in the winter. They never catch them in the mouth except in the winter. He said once in a while, the
dang.
bass guys or walleye guys will snag one.
What about Jordan Lee's when he was fishing with Zona?
Yeah, I don't know.
He
Did
hooked one.
Did he have it hooked? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
in the mouth.
It was a
Yeah, I
long
don't know. I
fight,
can't
too,
remember
yeah.
if it was snagged or if it was in the mouth. Yeah,
I think it was hooked in the mouth.
it may have been. Yeah,
I remember a Jerry McInnes episode. You remember him catching a sturgeon?
I don't
You
remember that. No.
I'll never forget it. It was just like you're talking. Like
Yeah.
you were like, how are we going to get it to panicking? And he fought a giant sturgeon in a canoe, as I remember. And
Wow.
On 6-pound test or something ridiculous,
Wow.
and was like, hollering at his cameraman and
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah.
But they get so big.
They
It's
get big.
just such
They're
an amazing
they're
fish.
prehistoric. But anyway,
Hold on, about that trip, Mike. Brian's sexy, huffy BMX bike sucks wants to know how was the
Ooh.
jerky at the Quick Trip gas station
wow.
in Hudson, Wisconsin.
Oh man, I don't know who that is. It has some intel. We had really good jerky there. It was really, really good. I can tell you, dude, when you're that cold, you want to just want to eat.
Yeah.
We had jerky the one night. The next night, we actually did it 2 nights. So we had that bite. We went the rest of that night with no more bites. We went out the next night for
course,
about
no
4
one
or
else
5
caught it.
hours and no bites.
Yeah, of
So
course.
that just tells you how it's not easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we cooked brats the next night out or whatever. But dude, this is the beauty of fishing. Like to have that, I get geeked out even with a bass in winter leagues, right? But that's shit special.
Yeah, beauty for
That's
you.
the
The other
shit.
guy with you didn't have no beauty. He was rather
No,
beautyless.
but Dan, honestly, Dan and Austin both.
Yeah, it's so beautiful when you're the one that catches the trophy fish. What about the guy that had to leap over the ice with you?
I could say, I know. Now, see, with Austin's, it's tough for Austin because Austin's a camera guy. So he has to deal with this a lot.
He's getting paid.
He's getting paid, but I think the experience for him was great. And for Dan, dude, Dan's caught a million of them. I think, honestly, genuinely was excited for me. I really think he was.
But what is it in the stars that makes it be like you're the guy that catches the fish? Like you're never the guy that doesn't catch it.
I'm not always the guy. No, I'm not
Because
always
someone's
the guy.
asking about Haas's fish. I imagine we're getting to
All
that.
right, so that's a good
right.
that's a good conversion. Before I do that, real quick,
Yeah.
let me throw in this. The only other thing we caught in 2 nights of fishing was that aquatic salamander. Did you see that
I
thing?
saw that.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it
Like
called?
they call them mud puppies.
Mud puppy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this really weird deal. And Dan basically, he's like, before our 2 trips are out, he's like, you're going to catch Sherman. And they kept referring to it as Sherman. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it was a catfish or a drum or something. And I had a Sherman bite the first night and didn't catch it because I get this bite. None of that same shit happened, but the bobber's just moving up little. And Dan goes, oh, Sherman's biting. And before he had a chance to tell me what to do, I grabbed the rod and walloped it and didn't come up with anything, you know?
Yeah.
The next night, he's like, now look, Sherman's going to bite tonight. When he does, don't set the hook, just reel it in. And I thought it was odd, you know, and I get that same kind of bite the second night, and I just start reeling. And I feel, you feel like every once in a while, it did feel big. I was thinking maybe panfish, crappie, and I get it to the ice, and I bring it out of the water, and I'm like, what the hell is that? It's this thing with, like, arms and a tail and
Do
legs.
they refer to them singularly like you did? Like when the Sherman gets on? Like
The Sherman, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
like Loch Ness?
Dude, but the craziest thing, it had external gills.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Very, 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 very
Mud
strange.
puppy. How
creature.
big was it?
It was probably 8 inches, 7, 8 inches
Was
long.
it, was it
that.
hooked?
It was, the one I caught was hooked. I had him hooked just in the leap, a little bit of the leap. But he's down there sucking on them minnows and dead night
Wow,
crawlers
they're
and shit.
crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Great experience. So anyway, now I'm going to talk about yesterday, Pete. I fished a Winter League on Union Lake. Didn't do very good at all, but I fished with a good friend of the show, Dave Haas, master boat builder here.
What boat did you fish out of?
So we fished out of my big boat, which
Okay.
is the first mistake at Union. Union's a 9-9 lake.
You ain't got to tell us.
It's hard to move around in that. So we made a couple
I
educated.
did all right with mine.
Yeah, Brian did okay with his a Torpedo. You're good, but with a trolling motor only, it's not a great lake. Tried some shit, it didn't work. Make a long story short, before we knew it, dude, it was one of those days where you look at your watch and you're like, oh
Out
my
of
god,
time.
there's an hour left.
Yeah.
Like, what just happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate that. I have those days all the time, and I
Yeah.
hate it. So we make this run to the dam as a last ditch effort to try to catch a smallmouth. Right? Didn't work. And looking at our watch, we got like 30 minutes left to fish. We're like, man, we got to start heading back. It's gonna take us 20 to get back. And like as I'm saying that, Dave's fishing a drop shot on 8-pound braid with a long 6-foot fluorocarbon leader.
6 pound.
6-pound fluorocarbon leader, a long 6-pound fluorocarbon leader with a number 2 drop shot hook and
Dag.
a little 4-inch finesse worm. I think it was Jake's worm.
Zog.
So, dude, he goes, oh, bite, and he sets the hook, and he set the hook, and I seen his rod doubled over. I'm like, dude, this is a big smallmouth.
Yeah,
I'm
big
like,
fish.
I'm like, oh my god, I like throw my rod down, grab the net, and I got the net, and all of a sudden and I'm seeing him fight it, and he's not gaining on it. And then it does the same thing that sturgeon does, dude. It just goes, zzz, and I'm like,
Striper.
Dave, it's not. I'm like, Dave, it's not a smallmouth. I said, but there's a miscellaneous pot in this tournament. I'm like, this is our chance. There's like 10 or 12 boats. I'm like, we can make our money back plus some, right? I'm like, take your time, and I'm coaching him. And he gets a little closer, just like the sturgeon. And zzz, and now I'm looking at my watch because I'm worried. I'm like, oh, dude, we're good. We're not going to make it back.
You got to head back while he's fighting the fish.
So then I start chasing it. So I have my Lowrance Ghost on high, dude, and I'm chasing the thing down to try to help with that fight time, try to cut it down. And, in my mind, I'm like, so the only fish that doesn't count for miscellaneous is carp. So I'm like, oh, fuck, he's got a carp. He's got a carp snagged or,
Yeah.
But I'm like, if it's a catfish or anything else, I'm like, we're good. And, dude, he finally gets it to where I see it for the first time. And I'm just like, I see all that silver. And I see it, and it starts coming, and then it makes one last run. And then I see it again, and he gave up, and I was able to get the net into his head. Dude, I mean, took all my might to get this thing over, landed this thing, and it's a striper, dude. All this is on film too. I can't wait to release this. But
Pete, look up at the screen.
dude, I went berserk, dude. I went absolutely berserk. We're screaming, we're high-fiving, we're yelling. Barely fit in the Bass Cat live well. Get it back to weigh, and there it goes. There's Dave Haas with the striper.
So, Mike, may I add some context? Dave Haas, for you guys watching and see the picture right now, he's about 6'3". He's about 280 pounds. Look at that.
Yeah,
correlation to him.
Yeah, so Dave, I ended up posting another video of this. But when I posted this picture, I said it's true weight, right? So anyway, we weighed it in. We had the official scale. Scale went up to like 130 pounds or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
And it weighed basically 28 pounds, 27 and 3/4.
Yeah.
High change. So I posted that picture.
Yeah.
And all the people on Facebook like, I striper fish. That's bullshit. That ain't 28 pounds. That may be 18. I'll give
You
it
gotta
15.
love the douchebags.
Yeah, everybody
Headbutt
butchered it,
every
not
one of
knowing how big Dave is in that picture. You
Dave's
know?
a massive man.
So then
dude.
I posted.
Please don't be that person.
Yeah,
on
don't be
social
that
media.
guy. So then I posted the video, which better showed the mass of that fish, but it was actually a 28 pounder.
That's
And
amazing.
dude,
Yeah.
on a number 2 hook, and when I landed it, when we finally looked at it, all this is on. I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
I can't wait to show you guys. We showed it to the camera and everything, dude. It was on a flap of skin on the inside of his mouth, dude. A flap of skin, bro.
I mean, it could have moved to that. It could have ripped, like, from the inside to out, like, as the fight was happening.
That's amazing because Dave's really good at breaking off big ones.
I
You had to coach
so
him.
many times I'd say, take your time, take
Yeah.
your time. We still got time. And in my mind, as I was saying that to
He
him,
loves to horse him.
yeah, as in my mind, as I was saying that to him, I'm like looking at my watch. I'm like, shit, we ain't got time. But I'm like, take your time. We got time. We got time. I'm like, oh fuck, we ain't gonna make it back.
Yeah, Brian Sucky Huppy said 18 all day. I'm that person.
All right, you just want a foot square. For
Yeah,
Becky.
they don't want shit.
Okay.
So did you win miscellaneous?
So we won miscellaneous. Yes, we did. But it was only like $150, or I can't remember what it was.
That's cool.
We might have made like, what was it, $70 a piece? I don't remember. We made some money.
Yeah.
which
Oh,
was,
yeah.
which was cool. But it was but on the flip side of that, Dave, I didn't catch that, and I loved it. It made my day.
That's a lunar eclipse.
It made my day.
It's a lunar eclipse. Don't celebrate it.
It made my day. It made my day to watch Dave catch that.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was
Those
amazing.
fish. Well, there's a fish ladder at this lake,
Yeah.
Union
There's
Lake,
a fish
and
ladder.
these stripers get up in there. The bait gets up in there.
But
Shad
that
runs
fish,
get up
that
in there.
size,
It connects to the Delaware River through the Maurice River,
Yeah.
and they go up there and they live up there, man.
But would you agree that a 28-pound fish is not going through a fish ladder? That fish came in as a juvenile.
Yeah,
and got that
most,
big,
most
right?
likely.
I have no idea.
If you ever see that ghetto-ass fish ladder, that thing ain't going up
That
there.
thing ain't going up that.
Fucking ladder's hammered.
No, no.
It's not even a ladder.
Yeah. No, but it is funny. Like when I posted that,
Tarzan's
all the negative comments came through. But I also saw a lot of comments that came through and said, "Oh my God," you know, and then they tagged their buddy in it. I knew it was a striper that I lost. You know, I saw like that 3 or 4 of those come in.
Yeah.
So there are big striper down there by the dam. You know, this isn't the
Yeah.
first time that it happened. But Dave just got lucky enough to land it. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dave.
Yeah, congratulations.
Great job,
Way to
Dave.
not fuck it up.
Now you're going to see all the striper trollers down there now,
Yeah.
trying to get them.
Yeah.
Man, look,
They're
just
in
look.
there.
That thing is so.
Yeah.
We have another screen over here. It's so big, man.
it's
Jesus,
big. Yeah.
God.
Hey, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break. Do you want to talk about these reels? Or you want to do that when we come back?
We'll get it when we come back.
Okay, listen to me. Hang in there. When we come back, this show's about to get good. That was all crap, Brian Carpenter. The show's
right.
about to get good. When we come back, what's the correct order? Are we doing Zach first?
Zach Rushing is waiting in the wings.
Okay, Zach rushing when we
Yes.
come back in the next segment, followed by Luke Duncan in the third segment. Plus, we're going to be talking about these amazing brand new Ike Live reels. I'm just going to tease it a little bit. Hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live.
Hi, today we're going chest to chest in the Dr. Squatch lather test. On that half of Mike's impressive chest, we're rubbing him down with 3 name brand bars. The result? A sad, milky film of disappointment. How's that feel, Mike? You see, Big Soap cuts corners and strips out all the sudsy goodness in order to make production cheaper. But not Dr. Squatch. Don't worry, Mike. Dr. Squatch soap retains all the natural ingredients, which creates a rich, foamy lather, leaving your skin healthy, soft, and clean. Ooh, looks like Squatch is taking over this peck party. How do you feel now, Mike? Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. When we say it lathers, it f***ing lathers. You deserve glorious lather. Take the lather challenge for yourself today.
4.5-inch drop shot worm. Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J. Give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh. Is he in my pocket?
This time of year, I definitely recommend putting a little bit of this on your soft plastics too. There he is. Another one. Next cast. And that would be number 6. I'm addicted. I'll admit it. I'm straight addicted.
This might be bigger.
You think so?
Yeah. Feels bigger. I haven't even seen this thing yet. It doesn't want to come up. Don't break me off the rocks.
Oh, it's a... Oh!
27-incher.
He caught it.
28.
Oh my god, that's such a healthy fish. Look at the size. Put a little liquid mayhem on your crappie jig, and look where the stripers get it.
You can't even see it, man.
That might be a keeper.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Ike Live. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I know we are. Pete, there football games on tonight? Other people watching football, what are they doing right now?
Yeah, they're watching the playoffs right now. But you know what?
Playoffs.
The coolest thing going on right now is the guys that have the playoffs on the TV, but they're listening to us.
That's right.
That's the way to do it.
That's right. That is
Because
the way to do
the
it.
action in football is just like here and there.
Yeah,
You know?
I hear you.
And the Eagles aren't in it anymore, so who cares?
Right. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Let me remind you, if you're watching tonight, we want to hear from you. Please hit us up on the instant messaging. If you're on Facebook, also hit us up, leave a message.
Yeah, like and share.
Like and share it. If you like and share that feed on Facebook, we're going to put you in a raffle to win the Ike Live gift bag. It's apparently 17 pounds.
And Rich responds to IMs the way he does sell houses. None. I've responded to almost every one of them.
That's right. Dave's doing a way better job than Riz would ever do.
He thinks he's selling houses.
Right. Exactly.
He's got an awful lot of fishing money.
Yeah, he does.
He must be selling something.
I don't know, man. You're right. Yeah.
Selling wolf tickets.
Yeah.
Wolf. Eye of the tiger.
Yo, Mike, have you tried it yet?
I haven't tried it. Okay,
I just had my first sip.
All right. So everyone knows this segment. It's a great segment. Of course, Founders, a proud supporter of Ike Live. This is a new one for me, Bri. This is Harvest Ale. Mm-hmm. What can you tell me about this? I see on the label, I see wet hopped ale,
yes,
which I guess is different than dry hopped ale. Dave, do you know anything about that? Wet hopped ale?
Big negative.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Either.
All right.
Damn, it's good.
I like it. All right, so we've got it. This is the Harvest Ale. Let me get a little, I want to get a little nose on it.
Oh, yeah, get the nose on it.
Remember, got to keep the mouth open.
No, it's closed, right?
No,
open.
It's so amazing.
Idiot.
It works so awesome. I didn't even know.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Isn't that good, dude?
Wow.
It's really good. I like it.
All right, here we go.
So it's smooth.
Yeah.
and it's not a heavy hoppy beer
Dude,
at
that
all.
is amazing. I'm not
Wow.
even bullshit. And that's delicious.
I know it is.
This is the Harvest
Scrumdiddlicious.
This is the Harvest Ale. It's a 7.6%.
Oh, I'm in on this next time, dude.
Which is
Go
going-
easy-
I'm
go easy,
going to go
boys.
ahead and read this to you. People want to know about it. It says, each fall, our brew house looks high and low through thousands of pounds of wet hop cones that arrive. And certain select hops are picked.
The hell's that even mean?
I don't,
Like the ones that the Bavarians peed on? Like what?
an impossibly aromatic and bright IPA bristling with fresh pine, melon, and citrus.
So I
notes.
taste that's the secondary taste, man. Take
Yeah.
a sip. Do you taste the melon?
The melon comes on the backside. Yeah. Wow.
Say that again.
All right. So this is
Wow, this shit is
this is a
banging,
wet
guys.
hopped ale. I'm liking this.
This is
a
their
lot.
best beer I've ever had.
Wow, Dave, that's phenomenal. You said that.
I'm serious, man.
That's
That
right.
is
Wow.
so well done. Jesus, whoever the master brewer is, hats off, man. Jesus.
Man, that's a good one. Founders Harvest Ale. If you're watching, man, you got to give this one a try. If you're not into the super heavy IPA, the ones with the big kick,
This
give
is
one a
heavy.
try.
It's,
This is
it's
smooth.
a banger, dude. It's +7.
It's heavy, but it's not heavy. It's not like
okay. Yeah, it'll knock you right on
Yeah.
your ass.
Yeah.
706.
Looking forward to it.
I couldn't wait.
that's a good one. Man.
That's what I'm here for.
And about the time we get to Luke Duncan.
Duke Lunkin.
No, his song grew on me. That intro song he
Oh,
puts.
yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
He never met a riverboat gambler that he liked. You know what I mean? They're always taking his money. I love that song.
Brian Carpenter, I'm excited about the next guest,
Yes.
and we're going to get to him here in a second.
Yeah.
But real quick, I do want to talk about these reels.
Yeah.
A lot of look at this, a lot of shine, a lot of reflection coming off of these reels. Let me get a. Yeah, give me a little zoom shot of this, Brian Carpenter. Where are we at?
Put your beer in the way.
Oh, I put my beer in the way. Hold on. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to make a little spot for this. Okay, here we go. This is exciting to me because these have been in the works for a little bit, Brian the Carpenter.
Yes.
But these are the guts of them, the frame and guts of this reel. Of course, they're Abu Garcias. I think most of these are Premiers and MGX reels. But what's really, really amazing is the skin on these things, Brian. And these are one of a kind. Let me go ahead and turn it. Look at the craftsmanship in this thing. Not just the colors, but the craftsmanship in the logoing. Look at the layout of it. Look at that. Of course, we've got an Ike Live on the thumb bar. Matching components, colored components that are tied in. Dude, these reels are smoking looking, and they're all basically one-of-a-kind reels. Tell me about these a little bit, Bri. These are Ike Live reels.
These are the Ike Live reels. We've got a handful of them. They are actually tournament used and tested. They come from your stock.
Okay, so they're loved.
They're loved, loved gently,
or not so gently,
or not so gently. But we're bringing them back to life. Put a new face on them. And Brian Chapman of B&R Graphics did the beauty work to them.
Wow!
Go ahead and give B&R Graphics on Facebook a follow. And Joey Randall, a buddy of ours, Joey Randall, has been a friend of the show for a very long time. He did some work to clean them up. Real Clean Reels, REAL, clean, REELS, Real Clean Reels. Give Joey a follow on Facebook. Those guys did the work on them.
That's amazing.
And
great camera shot.
And we've
too.
got some to give away. So we're gonna this week. Look for it this week on the Ike Live social media pages. We're gonna be running a contest.
It's awesome. I love them. I love the fact that they're one of a kind. And if this promotion goes real well, who knows? We might talk to Abu and making some of these, mass produce some of these.
And for some of you guys who never tried that reel out, they are so light. It's
They're
like
light. This thing doesn't weigh anything.
It's
at all.
ridiculously
Yeah.
light. It's silly.
That's amazing. I love the reels. Good job, guys, to help design that. Joey, thanks for cleaning them. They look great.
And Brian Chapman at B&R Graphics.
Yes,
Give him a follow.
Brian, thank you. Amazing reels.
Very nice.
Yeah. Let's get on with the show, Brian. Yes, you got something else?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead and dial up Zach.
Yeah, we're gonna get Zach here on the phone. Let me remind you, if you've got a question, a comment for Zach as we get him on, please hit us up. Hit us up on the IM. If you're over on Facebook, like and share the feed. But if you got a question there too, we got Zach checking that feed as well. I'm excited, Pete, because Ike Live. I would say, give me a percentage. I'd say 75% of our guests are fishing people, right? Would you say that?
Yeah, well, honestly,
70%.
Well, hardcore fishing people,
Right, like people in the fishing industry.
Every one of our guests loves fishing.
Right, they all love fishing, but
Yeah.
I'd say a majority of them are pro anglers,
Right. Yeah.
or sponsors, or
Mhm.
people in the industry. I love when we get guests on the show that aren't directly connected to it, right?
Yep.
You know, we're going to talk to Zach. I know he's an outdoorsman. He loves hunting and fishing as well. But I love when we have guests that don't just come from the pro ranks. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They're not ranked on Bass Fan, or maybe he is. I don't know. We're going to ask Zach. But I love when we get,
Yeah.
people outside of the world. of
See how
fishing.
the other half lives.
Yeah. See how the other half lives. But I'm excited to have this guy on the show. He is, I'd say, as far as rising stars, he's one of the best right now, really rising up there. And I want to get him all first, and I want to tell the story of when I first heard of some of Zach's stuff, which is really cool. But joining us now via hold on, Brian Carpenter gave me the. Okay. Zach's going to be on here in a second, and can't wait to get him on. And we actually may even play some trivia with him too here at the end. Pete.
Cool.
We'll see. But very, 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 very cool story with Zach, and we're going to be talking a lot about this with him. But a cancer survivor, Pete, and a form of cancer which I've got a real good connection with through my mom and uncle, which is Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We're going to talk to him about that. It's a great story. And Zach really has a never quit mentality, a never quit life motto, which I can relate to as well. We're going to talk to him about that as well. So, all right, we've got him now. Joining us only, the one and only, the real Zach Rushing, everybody. Zach.
What's happening, buddy? How you doing, mate? Good to see you, bro.
How you doing tonight? Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm telling
Man, I
you,
appreciate y'all having me.
I cannot thank you enough. We do not get an opportunity to talk to regular good guys like you enough. We're talking to Scobos in the fishing industry all the time. So thank you for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure, brother. I've been a long time fan of yours, so this is a dream come true for me.
Wow, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, I wanted to wait tell this story till you were on, and I want to give you the scoop on when I first heard of you and when I first started hearing some of your stuff. So, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, I spent a lot of time with Mr. Gerald Swindle. And a lot of it is seat time. And, over the last, 10 years, I guess, of working with Toyota, we just spend a ton of time together. And I want to say it was maybe a few months ago, we had a Toyota shoot. And we had about a 2-hour drive to get from the airport to the location where we're shooting. And, most of the time, Gerald's real big on, he's a hip-hop fan, he's a rap fan, and he sort of likes Southern rap, which is like a little bit different genre of rap. And he's always playing it for me because I'm like, I like hip-hop, but I'm more sort of the old school guy, so I'm like learning about new artists, So about an hour of that, and, it's kind of like, Gerald's like, wait a minute. I got to let you hear something. I got to let you hear somebody. I'm like, all right. And tell me a little bit. He's like, man, it's a buddy of mine. He's like up and coming comedian. He's outdoors guy, hunting, fishing guy. You got to hear him. And dude, we listened to stuff for an hour on this drive. And I didn't think there was anyone who could make me laugh hard than Gerald Swindle himself. And dude, I cried the entire time. So thank you for the comedy, dude. Unbelievable.
I couldn't tell you how that got started, to be honest with you. I kind of always been the same way. And when my phones came out, got them good cameras on there, I just started recording the shit, and then stuff just kind of took off.
I love it. Well, our philosophy on Ike Live is we kind of say what we feel. We don't hold anything back, and that's you. That's your life. That's your comedy. That's who you are. Have you always been like that, Zach? Were you the kid in grade school and middle school that just always spoke his mind, or was this something that came later in life?
No, to be honest with you, it kind of developed into, when you're growing up and you're 4 foot tall and 5 foot wide, can't get no looks from no women. The only person that gets laid less than a fat funny man is a serious funny man. So you kind of got to start being a little bit comedy. Well, the whole thing with it was, you wake up one day and you finally decide, look, I ain't gonna give a crap what anybody thinks of me no more. I'm gonna speak my mind. If it hurts your feelings, so what? If it,
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it went in. But I was a real shy kid. I mean, hadn't have a whole bunch of friends or whatever, But just being true to yourself and not being afraid to say what you think, it's done really well for me. I encourage everybody to at least give it a try.
Yeah, I loved it. There's so many I heard. The one that I remember because I had a similar experience. It wasn't as deep as yours, but the one I remember is you were at a barbecue and
Mama T's.
Oh yeah, and I had an experience like that in my life, and it was that connection. And again, it's like this is the first time we're having a conversation. I didn't know you personally. We hadn't talked on the phone. But as you were delivering that, I'm like, holy shit, I know this dude. This is, you know what I mean? Like, you have that connection with people. That's pretty cool, man. That's something special.
That's what everybody keeps on telling me. They say the only reason they watch me is because I'm real. And I've never branded myself as like a comedian type deal.
Yeah.
I kind of self-branded myself as like a motivational comic because everything that I say, it relates to real life. But,
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest with you. If you're scrolling through videos on Facebook and you don't laugh within the first 15 seconds, you're going to go ahead and scroll on past me. So I got to keep you laughing a little bit just to get you to listen.
Yeah, the world we live in today, Pete, is very instant gratification.
Right now.
Right now. They want it right now. Zach, take me back. All this at this point for you has to seem like just a giant explosion happening, with the success, the viewership numbers. But where did all this start? At what point did you say, man, this is something, I'm having fun with this. I'm liking this. People are liking it. People are appreciating this. At what point did all that click and you say, man, I'm pretty good at this shit?
I would say I'm good at it. There's people out there way better than me, but I can tell you probably about July of last year, I was somebody approached me, my buddy Possum. He approached me and said, look, man, you really ought to make a fan page because you can't have 5,000 friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
And these people are starting to get pissed off that they can't go in there and watch your videos. I said, all right, sounds good. How do I do that? So he had to walk me through the damn process on how to make a fan page and all this other type of stuff. And, within the first month, I was ecstatic when I hit 10,000 followers. I thought I had peaked, that I had done made it. Looking at people's pages like yours and G's and all that, 300,000 seems unsurmountable. You see it like y'all are celebrities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm an old redneck that swung a plum hammer for his whole life from down here in South Mississippi. We don't make it. You know what I mean? And then once I hit 100,000 followers after posting about 4 or 5 videos, I was like, all right, hang on a minute. Let's everybody pull the reins back. Zach might be on to something here.
That's awesome. Now see,
That's fast.
That's fast. Now Dave Brodzik,
Yeah.
you're watching right now, and I would consider you, in my opinion, Brian Carpenter, back me up on this too.
Go ahead.
Dave, you're right up here with Zach and G. Dude, Dave, you're funny. But your problem is, dude, you still have a flip phone, dude.
Yeah. and I hate people, so
And
I
you
really
hate
don't care.
people. I know. I know. But I want you to listen to this interview, Dave, because you're this funny too.
Well, I am listening. Zach, first off, number one, you're a handsome guy. I don't know what you're talking about being fat and not attractive to women. You got perfect white teeth. You're like a New Jersey 7.5, dude. Like, what are you even talking about? You should have moved up here. You'd have been pulling poo and you would have to do no humor.
Jeans, tight T-shirts. I ain't coming to Jersey.
If you're ugly in Mississippi, I don't even want to see what the handsome guys look like, dude.
I'm better looking than me. No, I wasn't always like this. I found that gym. I got tired of being fat. It's too hard to find britches.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, I like being fat better. It's so much more fun to eat the fat food and the cheese fries and the damn barbecue sauce like it's fucking taking shots of vodka. Come on.
Yeah, but Dave, you've been married for like 50 years, so
Yeah.
It's
Well, not really. You guys all been married longer than me. You guys guilted me into it. I was happy. Fucking people. You're gonna talk about me being married.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Mel.
Shout out to Mel.
No, she knows that, but we joke.
Shout out to Mel. But Zach, the other thing, and Pete and I were talking about it before the show started, is the way you deliver is it's so real. It feels real, but it's like delivered on a cell phone, and there's something about that. I don't know, what is it, Pete? Because there's something about that I connect to, versus like a highly polished.
Yeah, it's not overproduced.
It's not overproduced. You know what I mean? It's like so much easier for people and for me to connect with someone when I see it like that.
Agreed.
Yeah. Do you feel the same, Pete?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it looks like you're shooting a lot of them from your truck. You're just speaking, and giving your take on stuff. It's easy to connect with you. I'm sure that's why your numbers are growing so fast.
Well, they are jumping up there, I'll tell you that. But I think the whole thing with the filming with the iPhone, I mean, I've had people approach me, hey, man, you ought to get a production manager, you ought to do this, you ought to do that. I said, if I do that shit, that's just a sellout, just like everybody else. I'm not trying to be that. I'm talking to you about stuff that's on my mind. If you like it, hey, I'd love to hear from you, your opinions and stuff like that. If you don't like it, get the hell off my page. Like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
I would rather have 500,000 followers that are die-hard Zach Russian fans than I would have 10 million that just want to get on there and troll comments, which is a bad problem nowadays. That people, I mean, I'm sure you deal with it too. People making fake pages and all of you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, both you guys.
And this, that, and the other.
Zach, I followed you, and within 10 minutes, I got a fake request from a fake account of you. And then Mike today got hacked.
I got hacked today. Yeah.
Today Mike got hacked.
Oh, you got hacked? I feel you, because I got hacked on August 8th, and I almost blew up Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I did. I bet you I sent them 1,500 emails within a month. I was about to fly to California and go knock on the door, but they gave me my page back.
All right, so guys, coach up a Neanderthal like me. They don't even know what you're talking about right now. What do you mean you got hacked?
Oh, all right. So people can create a fake account, fake page.
First of all, why bother?
Why? No, I want to.
I'm not the only guy. There's people that listen to this show. That not like you on your phone every 5 seconds with your account.
Yeah. So they get
this shit happen.
They basically get an image of Zach, and they have a different email account, and they have a little bit different Facebook account. It might have a hashtag in it, or maybe one letter.
So like Mike Biconelli.
Or whatever. And they create this whole identity and whole page based around the other person, around Zach. It's a scam.
It's a scam. Zach's came through saying they're giving away prizes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I would love to give all of my followers $300,000, but I ain't got bread like that. I just don't. I promise you, I'd be in a lot bigger office.
That ain't what I heard, dude. I heard you're sitting on about a foot of money right now, bro.
I ain't got to worry if the car's going to get declined at the Wendy's no more. That's all.
Yeah, isn't that such a relief when you can go to a restaurant of your choice and not worry about that? That means you made it.
I just recently got me a new girlfriend. That was the best feeling in the world, to go into whatever restaurant she wanted to and not have to worry about what card to use.
Yeah, you're right. The one, yeah, exactly.
Now, Zach, I do want to. I said in the beginning, you're an unusual guest because we normally have industry people on,
right.
But you're an outdoorsman. Obviously, you hunt, you fish, and tell me a little bit about that. Give me your background on hunting and fishing. You've been doing it since you were a kid.
I have. I've been doing it. My dad's a big crappie fisherman. So he was big into that, and I finally got to the point that he fished with live bait. He's that old school guy, you know what I'm saying? He's out there with a cork and a line and a minnow.
Yeah.
And I get bored doing that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even if they bite and I'm bored, so I started watching you. And when I caught my first 9.6, I tried breakdancing on the front of the boat, hit my damn ankle on the trolling motor, like crippled myself. So I kind of got into bass fishing. Well, I've always been a hunter. Well, about 2 years ago, me and my buddies, we always called ourselves, Triple B boys, the Bass, Bucks, and Birds boys. Ever since this day, we was drinking like you do at the deer campus, what you're supposed to do at the deer. And we got toilet hugging drunk one night and woke up the next morning, and there was a napkin on the kitchen table where we was playing cards, and it had this image right here, this Bass, Bucks, and Birds image on my hat too. And nobody remembers drawing it. Like nobody remembers doing it.
Wow.
So we was all swinging plum hammers and working construction and stuff. We couldn't afford to make no hats. We made 12 of them because that was the least amount you could make, and they sold so quick that we made our heads spin. We just kind of looked at each other like, "Hang on a minute, we might be on something."
Wow.
So then we developed into this outdoor company, and along with the success through Facebook and comedy and videos and all, I kind of paired it with my outdoors company in order to do some good in the world. It's kind of what we're using it for. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun thing. We've got to meet a lot of great people like yourselves, but it's been really, really rewarding more than anything.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, and I know what you guys do with with cancer and with kids and the military. That stuff's amazing. But the brand logo, that's a really cool logo. Like the first time I saw it, I'm like, I need to get that hat. I need to get that hat.
Put it in the mail.
So, is there a possibility that Brian's ghost may have drawn that night at the deer camp?
Oh, it's too high.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What?
Is that Brian's ghost coming through?
No chance.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I owe somebody some royalties, is all I can tell you.
Hey.
I don't know if it is.
Zach, enough can't be said about what you do for charity, and people need to know that, with the proceeds you get from this, and it's not something you're going to put out there because you're not that kind of guy, but we can do it for you,
I appreciate
Congratulations
that.
on that. You're a good man.
Being a cancer survivor, and I give to St. Jude's and I give to all of these people, and I have my own foundation. I don't want to broadcast it too much. This is y'all's show, but it's a foundation where I kind of attack the mental capacity of children with cancer, because I've seen it. Until you sitting in that radiation room waiting on your turn to go in that machine, and you see an 8-year-old get wheeled out through there, you can just see his will to live is just fading.
Yeah.
You can't motivate kids like you can motivate an adult. An adult's got to get healthy, get home, take care of his family. He's got to be a man. You can't motivate a kid like that. So what we do with the Team Zach Foundation, and our hashtag is Never Quit Fighting, is we get these kids toys. It doesn't matter if it's an Xbox 360 or a Barbie doll. It don't matter what it is. It gives them a little bit of drive to want to wake up and fight one more day and make it through that treatment. That way they can go play with their new toy. And that's kind of how we attack everything in life. That's where my never quit fighting attitude comes from. Because every day when your boots hit the floor, it's a fight. Yeah. You got to scratch and claw for every inch. Like this, and especially in y'all's industry, everything that you want, they're not gonna hand it to you. You got to go get it. If you 0 in 4 tournaments, buddy, you can be hard pressed to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah.
One thing you just said, Zach, about the kids in the cancer ward, like we always talk about firefighters, police officers, and soldiers being the bravest. I don't think so. I was a police officer. I'm going to tell you right now, I think a nurse that works in a cancer ward is probably the bravest person on the planet Earth every day going to work helping those kids,
I couldn't do it. As strong as I like to think of myself as a strong individual, I can't. There's no way I could do that. It brought me to tears just seeing one of them, and you see thousands of them a year. There's no way. So my hat's off to all the nurses out there, everybody. Mad respect from me.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
for sure, buddy.
What you're doing is very, very special. I mean, all of us have some connection with someone that's had cancer, or has cancer. I mentioned before you came on, Zach, I've got an uncle and a mom that both have Hodgkin's. And then, of course, one of our good friends, we have Brenda right now. Hospice has come in, and she's been battling cancer. So it's something that affects everybody. It's something that's in everybody's life.
I don't know.
And we need more people bringing awareness to it, like what you're doing. So that's awesome. So thank you.
Appreciate it. It's a blessing that I'm on a platform where I'm able to help. So I'm more than happy to do so.
And you mentioned St. Jude's. They do God's work, that charity, that hospital right there, and those people, they're amazing, man.
Oh, they get me for $19 a month happily. So it ain't no problem there. I give when I can, especially to them. Anything having to do with cancer, it's very near and dear to my heart. Mainly because I've been through it 3 times.
Yeah. It's amazing, dude. Yeah. What kind of cancer did you fight?
I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. I did. I had it in 2013 while I was trying to play college ball, and then I ended up having it again in 15, and then again in 17, and I've been in remission ever since. But I ain't saying it ain't coming back. But if it does, we'll handle up on it.
You fight it right in the face. Listen, for the people listening, what is the difference? Do you know, Zach, between non-Hodgkin's and Hodgkin's?
Hodgkin's has about a 70% higher cure rate than non-Hodgkin's. As sad as that is to say, non-Hodgkin's is a lot worse to hear that you have than Hodgkin's. Hodgkin's is one of the more curable types of cancer. Not saying it's not lethal, and not saying it's not. It doesn't need to be addressed. I'm just saying it's not as lethal as non-Hodgkin's.
All right, thank you for clarifying that, because I never knew. I was here to 2, and I just don't know.
Yeah. Let me remind everybody, if you're watching and listening right now, if you've got a question or a comment for Zach, hit us up on the IM. If you're watching on Facebook, we've got Zach, our own Zach, Trevor, a.k.a. Trevor, a.k.a. Zog.
I like Zog better.
A.k.a.
We'll
Zog.
lighten this up a little bit.
Here
Zog.
tonight, taking the Facebook questions. Zach, I want to ask you this straight out. The success you've had a lot of people, their brands and their businesses really are this slow build. Pete, throw you on the spot with Bash University. It took us a good 6 years to get any momentum and speed.
And most all businesses, it's like 5 years before you can get any traction
that's
at all.
That's the norm. Yeah. And your success has really been on a fast track. A lot of people watching tonight that have their own business, regardless of what it is, right? They're entrepreneurial. They're trying to do their own thing. Tell them some advice. How did you get to this point in such a short period of time?
I never deterred from my original goal. I didn't listen to anybody's. I'm not saying don't take in suggestions, but when somebody came to me and said, "Hey, look, man, this Bass Bucks and Birds thing, this is a cool logo. You ought to just make it into a camo." Well, I didn't want to be just another mossy oak or another real tree or something like that. They already did that. What I wanted to establish from the very first day we made the first hat and the first shirt is I wanted to establish a brand, and when somebody wore it, it meant something. It meant something from the bottom of everybody's hearts. It said we respect the outdoors. We're going to do what we can to conserve it, and we're going to respect it in the most. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go out there. We're the type of people, if we're on the lake and we see a bottle floating, we're not going to just pass it up, say, "Oh, somebody else will get it." We'll stop in, pick it up, throw it in our trash bag, and we'll take it and go put it in the trash can. That's what I wanted to do from the get-go. Now, I lost a lot of followers when I started doing that, but I was on a real fast track about October. I was gaining about 25,000 followers a day. And once I kind of started expressing my mind a little bit more and kind of took a little bit more of that filter off, it slowed down. But the ones that stayed are the ones that support me, and the ones that support me are the ones that I want. Yeah. And they're what has helped me grow my brand. And the brand is steadily growing. We are countless hours in this office and in this place making hats and shirts and shipping them all over. We've got people from Australia, United Kingdom, Norway. I've shipped quite a few to Jersey, so y'all be walking around up there, y'all might see one of them things.
So listen, people from, as you said, Jersey, we don't call it Jersey. Only people from outside, we call it New Jersey. No one will ever say, like, from New Jersey that I'm from Jersey. People from outside of us say that. I mean, that's a common mistake that I hear.
I've been watching too much Jersey Shore.
Is that true or false, Mike? You're looking at me with a smirk.
I'd say it's true.
I'll go with false.
I think I've said Jersey a
really?
few
You've
times.
said that? I've never said that.
I think I've said it a few times, but I think I say New Jersey more.
I think you get influenced by other people accusing you being from Jersey.
It might be that. I've actually also admitted one time that I'm from the land of Snooki.
They're not even New Jersey. Let's not kill his time. They're New York scum that come down to our beaches.
Snooki could be listening right now, Dave.
No,
you just
she's
offended
not. She's
Snooki.
not listening.
Is she from Connecticut?
I don't know.
Zach, speaking of Yankees, I heard you busting on your neighbor coming over to try to watch hockey while the Saints were playing.
That shit wasn't happening, buddy.
Are you guys getting along?
Did we what now?
Are you getting along? I mean, that's getting real.
We get along as long as he stays out of my house on Sundays. Well, now it don't matter because we got beat by the Vikings. But you're not going to get me there leading up to playoffs while Drew Brees is trying to do his thing. It just ain't going to happen. It was funny. I was sitting here watching y'all's podcast beforehand. Y'all were talking about ice fishing. Let me explain one thing to y'all. Zach ain't going. I'm too fat for that. Okay, that ice. Y'all driving 4-wheelers. Y'all know it's cold. Y'all going out on ice and fishing. What if y'all fall through? It's like y'all ice death. Y'all like what we doing here? Like adrenaline junkies? Like, I ain't going. But yeah, we getting along pretty good. I waved at him while going down the street this morning, but I don't know if he waved back. I couldn't tell you where he's from, to be honest with you. He don't talk like y'all. He's got a way Yankee accent. He's got up there somewhere, Ontario or something like that.
Ontario. He's above the border.
Yeah. He's like North Mississippi.
Hey, on the IM board, Zach, J. Barger, 1967, is asking me to ask you about an invite to the cookout of one of your former teammates.
One of my former teammates. You talking about like Mama T's? I'm not allowed to invite people.
I don't know. Sometimes when we throw these questions out there, it's a hilarious inside joke that the other guy laughs at. You're not, so it means it doesn't mean nothing. I'm sorry.
If I met him at one point and talked about a cookout, you ain't got to hit me in the face with a wet mop to go to a cookout. Just shoot me an email. I'll probably show up.
All right. Well, that joke fell flat. Sorry, Zach, for wasting your time.
That's awesome. I did want to jump back, Zach. What the hell is that? How do you deal with the negative comments? Because that's something that Brian pretty much attacks him.
He's our fire extinguisher.
He's our fire extinguisher. My wife, Becky's attitude is the opposite, which is just shut down, don't answer it, ignore it.
You're pretty good at it, man. You
I
let
tried
shit
to
roll off you really
I tried
good.
to,
'Cause
but
you've had a lot of shit slung
I
at
tried
you.
to, but how do you handle it? Because I know you get it too. What's your protocol for when those comments come in and they're just
When
just
stupid
dicks?
knocks on your door.
Yeah, they're just troll dicks. How do you handle it?
I love them. I'm gonna be honest with you. They make my whole world go round. And I would love to get on there and just get right into them. But to be completely honest with you, if they troll a comment on one of my threads, by the time I can get to them, it's got 200 comments from people like some serious Zach Russian fans that are tearing that ass up.
That's right. That's right.
Let your fans get them. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, Brian
I don't
says
have
that.
to do it. I would love to do it. It don't bother me at all. But what, I'm going to lose one follower that didn't want to be there anyway? Hell, who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's
But
right.
no, I don't get a chance to do it. My fans, if I commented, it'd get lost in the thread. So I just kind of sit back and eat my popcorn and watch.
That's right.
That's right.
It's funny, Zach, because Brian says the same thing when he's putting out our fires. That he says just put a few things out there to feed everyone, and then light the dude up.
Exactly it, man. And these people hiding behind these computers in these safe spaces, half of them sitting in their mama's basement. They ain't got nothing better to do.
That's right.
They in there. They literally. This is recent. This was my thing with Australia with my fundraiser. I posted a video about wanting to help Australia with these wildfires. I'm donating all the proceeds from my brand until the fires are out to Australia.
You're such a
Somebody
good
had
dude.
the audacity to get on there and give me shit about it.
Oh my god!
Like how can you find something wrong with that?
Oh my god!
They wanted to tell
That's the
like,
internet, dude. You could save puppies out of a river, and somebody would say some.
It's crazy.
I mean, right, you're 100% right. That's exactly right. And that's why I posted a video an hour before y'all went live, and I called their ass out right in front of a million people. You got something to say to me, you better say it to my face. Don't hide behind that damn computer screen. One guy, he had me so mad about 2 weeks ago. I messaged him, offered to pay for his plane ticket, come down here and meet me and whoop my ass like he said he was going to.
Dang.
I like it. I like it.
So Zach, I'm in Neanderthal, right? I have none of this social media stuff you guys are talking about. What could someone possibly say about you donating money to fire people, like the Australian fire people?
Well, it was more along the lines of how come I'm not taking care of my own country first.
Enough. Come on.
Yeah, my response to him was very simple. I said, "Are you on fire?"
Yeah, is your feet burning?
Is your entire country on fire right now?
That's pretty good, dude. Dude, I
Well,
saw
y'all
a map on
barbecue
Fox
kangaroo
News of how
like
much of
this.
Australia is on fire. It is wild, dude. Like they showed a map of how much is burning. The whole
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. They've lost like 1 million animals. It's crazy.
on fire.
Dude, the simple genius in that.
Yeah.
Zach, say it again.
Are you on fire? I mean, that's literally what I posted to him, and he wrote me back. I give him credit for writing me back. He said, "No, I'm not on fire, but there's people starving in this nation and all this, that, and the other, and can't afford to do this." And I replied back to him again. I said, "Go to work."
That's right.
I mean, it's people's gonna throw shit at the wall, y'all, and see what sticks. I mean, that's just as simple as it's gonna be. And if you let that bother you, then you're a lot more weak-minded than what people give you credit.
Man, and there's so many of them out there.
There's a lot of stuff in
there's
the
so
world.
there's so one of my most disliked are the spell check police.
Oh.
Like why? Why even do it? Like the word's spelt wrong.
Years, I can't type good. Okay.
Well,
I don't even know. Well,
Sorry.
Dave's a spell check police.
I'm not.
It's Dave.
That joke was perfectly timed. Stop.
It was pretty good.
No, that's the worst. You're right. I mean, you misspell one. You'll forget an apostrophe, and somebody wants to write a whole paragraph about it.
Yeah, I can't do it, guys. I'm
crazy.
sorry. I can't subject myself to that world.
It's crazy.
Oh,
If you can stay out of it, stay out of it. But I'm both feet in now, so I got to swim in it.
We have the Superman of charity on the phone right now. On the TV right now. Like this guy's
Sure.
amazing, dude. Like, you're really a good dude, man. Donating what you donate and doing what you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, it's important. It's an important part of life, and it's good to see it. When people do a good job of it, it's good to.
But
it's
like
good to
enough
see that.
can't be
It's good to
said
applaud it.
about like the what they call it, the yin and yang or karma. Like, this guy's
Yeah.
putting that good stuff out there and he's getting it right back.
Yeah.
Right?
It's good.
Like, all you
Well, to be
people
completely
typing that
honest
shit.
with y'all,
What's
like,
that?
I said, to be completely honest with y'all, I don't deserve what I have. I mean, it ain't like I got out there and sweated for it.
Nah, but you do. You
It
give
fell
back.
into my lap, and I'd be even a worse individual if I didn't take what I've been granted and help other people with it. It's as simple as that.
That's why
If
you
I
got
had-
what you got.
That's beautiful. Well said.
I appreciate
There's
it.
balance in this universe, right?
Yeah.
And if he's not the epitome of it, what is, man? Here's a guy that survived cancer.
Yeah.
He's got a very popular, comedic show on Facebook and YouTube, and here he is giving back like more than probably what he's putting in his pocket, man. And you're a great dude, Zach. Great to have you on, man.
And, you're good, and you haven't peaked, believe me, Zach. You got a lot more good stuff coming your way. I can tell.
You're on fire.
Yeah, I can tell. I did want to put you on the spot on one thing. This is like live show. I at least got to put you on the spot on one thing. You're talking about current events. You're always analyzing current events. You know what's happening right now in the sport of professional bass fishing. Major League Fishing, came out a year ago, created a lot of turmoil sort of with the hardcore fans of the sport. And you sort of have this MLF BASS thing going on. Give me your insight on it. I'd love to hear it. We've been asking people this question, but it's mainly from people in the industry. Give me your perspective on what's going on with the fishing world right now.
Okay, I'll give you my honest opinion, and this I'm gonna level with you. Here we go. MLF is new. People are always scared of what's new.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. Is MLF fun to watch? Absolutely. Is it a great concept? Yes. You're always going to have those diehard BASS fans that love the traditional way of doing things, and they're not going to deter from that. Anything that's new is going to scare them. Now, here's my deal. Why can't you like and watch both?
Right.
Y'all are professional anglers. In no way, shape, or form is one any easier than the other. Y'all see it from the inside. Like, I've talked to G, I've talked to a couple of y'all, and y'all see it from the inside inner workings of it. That's what everyone else doesn't see. They don't see the countless hours that it took to build MLF. They don't see the countless hours that it takes in order to keep BASS running like it does. So I guess in my opinion, I would say that people need to shut the hell up. I mean, you can watch MLF on Sunday mornings and bass on Saturdays if you want to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't feel a need. It doesn't need to be this big war about one's better than the other.
Yeah.
That's just my take on it. I'm going to watch both of them. How about that?
Amen.
I agree with you, Zach, but I don't know if it's the people creating the war. I think it's the organizations that are creating the
It
war.
probably is, and like I said, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up y'all's ass. Like, I know all the innermost workings of it because apparently I don't catch enough fish in order to get paid for it. But at the same time, from an outsider looking in, just a different perspective, you can see that the aggravation is growing in between the two, and it's mainly in the anglers. You can see posts here and there, and jumping ship here and going there, and everybody's all excited about it, but they only stay in a year or so. Yeah. And then they go right back to the other one. So time will tell. Time will tell.
Zach, stop with that for a second. If you took your bank and you brought it over to the fishing world, you'd be in the top 10 anglers of the goddamn industry. You stop right now with the poor mouth over there.
I got a lot to learn. I live in a coastal community. I can catch speckled trout all day long, but them bass, we freak out down here in South Mississippi if we catch one over 8 pounds.
Yeah, right.
Well, I see. What I need is, and again, we kind of say what we want on this show. There are a couple off limits. Religion's generally off limits for us.
Politics is even
we
worse.
don't dive deep into politics. And I told you, Becky, my wife, is like the police. Like, literally every time she walks in, the little siren goes off. It's like, whoop, whoop.
If we said Trump right now, that door would be here. We hear the door close about 10 seconds
she'd be
later.
running up. They'd be like, whoop, whoop. There comes Becky.
Yeah.
But exactly what you just said. I'm so glad you said that, because I had this post all prepared. And I shot it and everything. I had to set up my tripod. I got my phone, and I grabbed my FLW trophy from when I won on the Potomac. I grabbed my last BASS Elite trophy from when I won on the Delaware, and then I grabbed my MLF last Cup, big giant trophy that I won. And I had all three, and I was sitting in a chair, and I just did my my best imitation. What's that? The guy in L.A. that got beat, pulled out of his truck, Rodney.
Oh no. Yeah, you're talking about James Denny. What was his name?
Nah.
Rodney King.
Rodney
King.
I did my best.
He didn't
Rodney
get pulled out of a truck.
He didn't get pulled out of a
No,
truck?
he was in like a little.
All right, whatever. And I was like, hey, I looked at the trophies. I said, can't we all just get along? And then I'm like, I'd made the mistake of showing Becky that post, and she totally shut it down.
Veto.
So it never made it to.
Hashtag like Black
But I'd
Lives
love
Matter.
to, because you have that flexibility to just say anything. And I want to be that. We try to do that as much as we can.
Initially, we did.
But
And then we got sponsors.
Yeah.
And then
Zach,
Brian, Shane, yeah.
But
Zach, don't take on any sponsors.
Zach, don't take any sponsors.
Keep
on.
making your own money and you'll be free.
Don't get married. Don't get married to a whoop whoop.
Just
And
keep climbing into your monster truck on your stacks of Facebook money, dude. Don't take any endemic sponsors, and you can say whatever you want, brother. Look at that. You know.
Facebook don't pay that well. I can promise you. But no, I would have definitely hit the post button on that. See, it's so much easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission. Because my woman's the same way. I'm gonna be honest. You ought to see some of the looks I get when I come home after posting something in my truck. I walk out, she look at me, she go, "Was that necessary?" I said, "Yep."
Probably.
I don't know. I watched. Listen,
It's
Zach,
probably gonna buff out.
Zach, I watched Mike on his wedding night. Right, this extravagant wedding that Becky's dad laid out for them.
And don't forget in the butler.
I watched him.
Jeeves.
Yeah. He had a guy named Benson driving the rolls. This 19 30 rolls. Mike does a Dukes of Hazzard hood slide across the front of it, hammered drunk. You know what I mean? Like, so don't talk about wives' looks. I got to see that hands on because I was like somewhat sober because my wife was pregnant at the time. I couldn't be all the hammered dad. So I had to I watched it. It was the most amazing, one of the most amazing wife-husband things I've ever witnessed. And I got to see the father-in-law too at the same time. It was a fucking awesome thing, dude.
I remember that look.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
What did that hood slide cost?
I can't remember because the button I had on my pocket scratched the
Yeah,
hood.
he raked this button. He raked this button across the whole hood of this like ancient rolls, dude. It was like this, like like out of a James Bond movie with the guy with the hat with the blades on it, like that,
That's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Do it again in a heartbeat.
Never give up.
Never give up.
It was like watching a hockey fight. You know what I mean? Like nothing else. You didn't see nothing else but that, dude.
Right.
You know
Total
what I mean?
focus. Yeah. It was awesome. Zach, here's the question, and I got to ask it. What's next? Because a lot of stuff's happened for you in the last 24 months. What's next? What's the future? What do you got lined up? What's coming?
It's kind of like one of them things like that. If your mama, when you're young, tells you to take out the trash about 30 times, probably on that 31st time you're gonna do it. So it looks like I'm going on tour.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
on, buddy.
So I'm booking dates right now. We've got a few booked. I think the closest one I'm coming to y'all is probably Maryland. I'll be in Maryland on April 4th. And
Where at?
Brian the Carpenter, write this down in our scheduling, or Rolodex, or paintbrush.
Goldsboro. Imagine this. We're doing a fundraiser for the fire department up there, and in Goldsboro, Maryland, and we're gonna come up there and do an hour-long comedy show, do a little meet and greet, this, that, and the other up there.
Oh shit, we gotta go, Brian.
Goldsboro, Maryland.
Yes, sir.
April 4th.
Ike, when you get done here, give me a shout. We'll get you lined up with some tickets and all. They'll be waiting at the door for you.
Wow, that'd be awesome. I'd love to meet you in person. And let me ask you this: is it going to be a transition for you to go from,
monologues?
Yeah, monologue with a phone and a video to crowds, to live crowds. We're pretty good friends with Ed Bassmaster, and it was. For a long time, Ed didn't want to make that transition. Ed didn't, Ed's strength was behind the camera. YouTube stuff. But he eventually made the transition and did amazing. Is it going to be a tough transition for you, or you feel comfortable doing it?
Well, leading up to I just got done with my first show, and I went to Missouri, Was I in Missouri? Yeah, I was in Missouri. That's how I sleep in the truck whenever we drive in there. I don't drive. So we went and did that show, and I was nervous for my first show. I mean, I didn't know if I was going to be putting on a show or having a conversation with one person who bought a ticket by accident. I really didn't know. When I opened up the door and they introduced me, I get out there and it's a sold out crowd. And I got 2 shows that night. I said, all right, we'll see how this goes. And once I got up there, I realized real quick that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't these people who are hackling you and this, that, and the other, because the people that come see me are true Zach Russian fans. Yeah. They know what I'm about. They weren't confused when they got there.
Yeah.
And I had the best time, sold out 2 shows in Missouri. And I got off stage, my manager looked at me. He said, I got your tape. We're going to send it off to a couple more places and see if they're interested. Well, that was 3 weeks ago. And after we got home, we sent the tape off. 3 days later, we had to hire a new road manager. And she's got stuff booked all over this nation. I think I'm going to Arizona, California, Oregon, North Dakota, all this stuff. It wasn't as big of a transition as what I thought because I just got up there and spoke my mind. And people seem to laugh at that shit.
Wow.
Dude, we're in.
That's awesome.
Are you in town April 4th?
I don't know.
April 4th. I'm coming in on the 3rd, but I'll be there on the 4th for sure.
I don't know. I hope I'm here. I hope I don't have a tournament. But
So, Zach, is it a stand-up act? Like, what is it?
It's a motivational comedy act, brother. It's going to touch on everything from the thought process, trying to understand a woman, all the way down to little tips and tricks on the boat when you're fishing. And it's just little stories in between that's happened to me and my buddies on our road to where we're at now. I mean, y'all, I don't know if you saw this. I got to tell you this story. I said if I ever met you, I was going to tell you. I know you were a Apollo man. Well, down here, we live in a coastal community. There ain't a whole bunch of clothes worn during the summertime. So I walked into a gas station about 8 months ago during the heart of summer. I kept on hearing this noise while I was walking back there getting my water. I heard. Couldn't figure out what the hell that damn noise was. And there was a woman on the other side of the aisle walking toward the register. The whole time she's walking, all I can hear is. She got to the register. Me and her at the same time. I said, ma'am, you go right ahead of me. Well, she walked up to the register, turned around and looked at me and said, thank you. This woman had a DT6 in her belly button ring. Like, I'm talking about tied in her belly button. A DT6 in the black and gold color. And I looked at her, and the only thing I could say, I said, ma'am, if you're trying to catch a man, that's the wrong damn way to do it. I'm talking about full treble hooks and all.
Wow.
Where's this at?
That's South
Mississippi?
Mississippi for you right there.
Wow.
We're going.
We're going. Pete wants to go. Pete wants to meet this lady.
Oh, you don't want to meet that. I can save you trouble on that one.
Yeah.
But there's just little stories like that, little hunting stories, this and that. I'm supposed to be going to meet Gerald here in about a week or so. I think we're going to try to do a little hunting together. So I'll probably have a story off of that one.
Oh my God.
At least one.
If I could please be a fly on the wall on that hunt.
With them too.
Oh my God. Please. I just want to be a fly.
They probably just talk about like stocks and what they're doing with their bank. You know what I mean? They're not even doing like the jokes we think they would do. Look at him laughing. He knows it. Look at him.
Okay, that's it. I sell hats and tell a few jokes. He makes good money.
Like, Gerald, I can't believe you're not in the Roth, I don't know. Like,
Roth IRA fund.
With like perfect King's English, too. You know what I mean? Like, no Mississippi, Alabama, nothing. Look at that.
Yeah.
My accent completely goes away. We start talking about 401ks and shit.
Wait, 401ks for the working man like me. You're not in 401k. Get out of here. You're deeper than that, bro.
I'm telling you, I just got to the point that I can afford to go through Wendy's and not worry about that card getting declined. This is all new to me.
I love it.
Hey, Zach, I'm, writing comedy, like coming up with new material, man. It seems like it's so easy to you. You just rip it off. I mean, is it hard? Do you spend time writing? How do you come up with all this stuff?
I've never had to come up with anything, brother. It's all happened. This isn't that's one thing about my show. You're not going to hear not one thing that didn't happen. And I know it happens out there. And every now and then you might have to come up with a filler here or dramatize this. I'm just being real with y'all. In order to people come there to laugh. They come there to have a good time. If you're going to go in there and make them laugh, go make them laugh. But the heart of every story, it's actually happened to me. I mean, I've had some shit go down and I ain't supposed to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I find most funny, Zach. You hit on it, man. For dark humor, I find those things that they're just stories. They're not jokes that you can somehow turn into a funny story.
Real life stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like that woman who tried to tell me I couldn't buy snuff at the gas station. Now, I don't know. You go watch that video. I can't talk about that one on here because I'm still in a lawsuit.
All right.
There you have it. There you have it. All right. Now, I know for a fact, Zach, we've got people watching right now, and this is the first time they've saw you. This is the first time they've heard you. A month from now, they're listening to this podcast. They're like, damn, I want to see some of this. I want to follow him. Give it to us. If somebody's watching, listening right now, how can they follow you? How can they watch in your everyday life? How can they watch you do this stuff?
Well, the best way to what always gets the first video is Facebook because that's where I got my start. So you can always go follow me on Zach Russian on Facebook. Please, for the sake of God, don't follow one of them Indonesian people that are massacring this man. Look and make sure that it's got 738,000 followers. That one's me. Don't follow one with 128 people on there. That's not me. We got that one. The real Zach Rushing is my Instagram because apparently somebody already had the Zach Rushing name. And Zach Rushing on YouTube. We have everything. I'm trying to break into TikTok, but to be completely honest with you, I'm still trying to figure out Instagram.
Yeah, you got to learn how to dance for TikTok. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
All dance moves. Right,
it's the millennial version. I think I'm going to have to probably cater to them. I'm not real interested in doing it, but my manager's hell on it.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you guys around here, Goldsboro, Maryland, April 4th. It's 48 miles from here. It's not very far from South Jersey, guys.
Oh, we're going.
Oh, we're definitely going.
Definitely going.
Yeah.
The link is on my site. It's on my Facebook page. I think we released the tickets about 3 days ago, and I think we got 23 left. So y'all go ahead and go grab them if you can.
We'll be there.
Wow.
We'll have to BYOB. I don't know. I imagine they roll the rugs up at that place at around 10 at night in Goldsboro, Maryland. There she is. Zach, Becky just walked
y'all
in.
just bring y'all cell phone. I'll handle
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll handle getting all the beer and stuff backstage for us.
Wow.
You got it, buddy.
That's awesome. Well, Zach, I cannot thank you enough for coming on, and I can't wait to meet you in person. Definitely an inspiration to a lot of people. What you're doing with the charity stuff, giving back, it's unbelievable. It's very, very unbelievable. I'm telling you. I deal with a lot of people that have fans and money and fame and success, and they don't do shit. So thank you for what you do. It's pretty special.
Big fans.
Big fan. Give me just 1 minute. I wanted to show you one of our items that we're donating to Australia. Everybody out there that wants to become part of the Triple B organization, we made this hat right here. It just so happens that Australia is the red, white, and blue, just like America is. Right here under the bottom, we took our slogan, "Never an off season off." We put "Pray for Australia" underneath there. All of these are available on the website, and along with our edition shirt. And like I said, this isn't for me. All of the proceeds are going. You can see you got the Sydney Theater on there, the koala bear and the kangaroo. All of this is going to the firefighters and the animal and people relief over there in Australia. If anybody wants to contribute, you don't have to buy a shirt. You can donate a quarter. There's a donation button on there as well.
Wow, that's awesome.
Good for you, Zach.
Very cool.
Thank you.
There you have it. Zach, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it and hope to see you soon.
Yes, sir, brother. Y'all stay in touch now. Y'all be good.
You got it. Zach Rushing, everybody. Yes. Yes.
Superhero amongst us.
Dude, isn't that awesome, Dave? It's freaking awesome.
It makes you feel. It makes me feel like
it makes you feel bad for yourself.
Yeah, it's like pulling your dong out in prison. You know what I mean? Like I just feel. Yeah, I definitely feel like a lesser man after seeing a guy like that. You know.
It is cool. It is cool.
For
and
sure.
I love to see people that are successful, that are down to earth, good people. You know what I mean? And that's awesome. And like I said, first time I've talked to Zach, but by watching his stuff, by having that conversation tonight, he's a regular dude, which I like a lot, man.
He's a superhuman. I wouldn't say he's He's superhuman.
Yeah, he could be super.
He's a good dude.
He's a next level human than the rest of us.
All right, so let's run this past Miss Becky. Just sat down on the couch. Whoop. Zach, Becky just said he's in Goldsboro, Maryland on April 4th. Can we make that happen?
Date April 4th.
April 4th.
Hold on, Zog just chimed in. Hold on, Zog. Wait for your mic to get kicked on by Brian the Carpenter eating pickled peppers right now.
Shout out to Sean Fadigan for the shooters.
Very good, Sean. Thank you.
Fadigan.
Can you turn Zach's mic on? He's got Mike's answer.
Zog? April 4th?
Go ahead, Zog. I love Zog.
You'll be on Jordan Lake.
Oh, I'll be on Jordan Lake. Ah, damn it. I hope you guys
Rip-rap.
go, though. Seriously.
I'll go. I'm there.
Yeah.
What's that fall on April 4th? So I can't be taking off on Fridays. I don't have paid time off yet. Hang on, everybody.
All right. In the meantime, we're going to take a little break here in a second, but I do want to stop Brian the Carpenter. Pete has an amazing proud dad story that I'd like to hear.
I'd like Dave to hear this.
All right, Dave.
I can't
listen
wait,
to this.
Pete.
This is a proud dad story.
Yeah, this was we just got off of a wrestling match. My son wrestles, and he had an amazing match today. I'm just so proud of him. He was down, by 4 points in the third period.
Wow.
You guys don't know wrestling.
It's a mountain.
But, yeah, he's a mountain to climb. Got a minute left, and
Beck, you sure you don't want to?
and he
run the
was
vacuum
being
while you're out
patient. He was being very, very patient, and we had to start pressuring him. Like, you got to score points here, kid. And with about 30 seconds left, he ripped off a nice single leg, put the boy to his back, and time ran out, so he only got 2 back points. If he had another second, he would have got 3 back points and 1. But ties it, forced overtime, and in overtime he got to take down sudden death and won the match.
How quick in the OT did he get the takedown?
He was patient again. It was almost over. It was almost over, but he scored the takedown. So he continues his undefeated season.
Wow.
Undefeated.
So for those of you listening, at Pete's son's age group, there are 3 1-minute periods.
3 1-minute periods.
Yeah, 3 1-minute periods.
Yeah.
His next age up will go higher, but for his age group that he's in, there are 3 1-minute periods.
Yeah, he's undefeated. He's undefeated. He's 1-0. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, here's what I was just going to say. It's hard to be patient.
We're quitting.
It's hard to be patient when it's only a minute period. That's tough because you don't have. There's 60 seconds to be patient.
I know it, but you know what? When you're out there on the mat wrestling, it's like that. That minute seems like an hour.
Right.
Because it's so intense. Like the kids are at their peak level. Like everything's firing. And it just seems to last forever.
Wow.
But yeah, he did a great job. Super proud of him. It was a really proud dad moment.
Nice.
We high-five, hugged.
Wow,
our whole
that's very
team,
cool.
the whole Lenape junior wrestling program they all started crowding around as he started scoring points. And then it went to overtime. It seemed like the whole team was there. And then he won. Everybody erupted.
That's so cool.
So what's weird about that environment, and I don't know what it is, but the energy that draws people towards that overtime mat.
Yeah.
You catch on to that. Before you know it, like whatever happens, for whatever reason, no one's watching everyone's matches.
Yeah.
But when there's an overtime match, it's like double the amount of people are around. So you feel the energy and you get out there and watch it,
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
It's intense sport. I know Dave's son wrestles, and he's a real killer out there on the mat. How's this season going this year?
So we really haven't went heavy this season. He's only had about 10 matches, and it's his first year in his age group, and he's been swimming at the same time he's wrestling. We're going to pick it up heavy in February, leading up to states.
Yeah, Well, I know he's going to do well. He always does.
Yeah, thanks.
Me and Jake had to come watch his matches. I know he's a stud out there.
Yeah, he tries, man. He puts the work in. He's a true believer. He puts the time in.
Yep.
Me
and Jake are going to fish again this year in some buddy tournaments, and we're going to try to best our last score of a 0.2 ounce white perch.
Miscellaneous, though.
Miscellaneous.
Nowhere to go but up.
Nowhere to go but up. Yep.
Yeah. Just don't go back to Cooper River. Place is tough.
Yeah,
Every place is tough.
You know what's funny
Cooper
about
River, especially though.
With Jake, and I don't know about other kids, but when I take him fishing, he fishes. He's into it, but kind of. We're in a tournament. He never stops.
Wow.
You put him in that environment, man, he's firing the whole time. Hey, I was out getting away or getting the truck, and he was out there fishing off the back of the boat. I think he was trying to impress you. I think he was trying to show off a little bit.
There you go.
Never give up moment.
Everybody in here except for Brian and Zach have very young kids. My son just recently got into listening to podcasts, and he listens to one called the 6 Minute Podcast, and it's like a mystery, and it's like 200 episodes, and like within a week and a half, he's up to he's almost done it.
Wow.
But the importance of having your kids listen to talk radio, specifically podcasts, is that people speak in really decent language.
Right.
And it actually helps them develop and learn to communicate a little bit better. But for you guys with young, I don't know if it's a girl's thing, but young boys, the 6 Minute Podcast it's called. Maybe put it in their ears and let them listen to it. It's like mysteries
You
for
listen
kids.
to it?
I read it. I didn't listen to it. I listened to what it was about.
Okay.
And it's like mystery. It's like a mystery novel kind
Sounds
of thing.
cool.
Yeah, it's 6
Yeah.
minutes. They're not long.
6-minute episodes.
Yeah. Well, they're really 9 minutes, but it's called the 6 Minute Podcast.
There you go.
There you have 6 Minute Podcast and Ike Live for all young people.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Across this world. Yes, ours are 4 hours. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
Brian and Carter, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got one.
I'm sorry. Someone asked if Jake's special move was Pete's knot.
That's so wrong. kids don't listen to this show.
Who was that? Did they win?
Mike's hold on. Mike's ox bigger.
Dude, the IM names.
That guy wins.
Oh, he wins.
3-month subscription to Mystery Taco.
But like,
just for
back
the
in the
name.
day of Bend Over, I actually thought I invented Mike Oxlong, and I didn't know whether I did or didn't. But I swear to God, I came up with that, dude.
Mike Oxbigger, send your address in.
Mike Ox, you won. Brian, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to do a mystery tackle box unboxing.
Yes.
And then the grand finale is Luke Duncan.
That's right.
We got Luke on. A lot of
My
stuff
man.
to talk about with Luke. Hang in there. When we come back, we got one more segment.
We're going to see if Luke can out-yawl Zach Rushing.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to work with his dialect as well. So hang in there when we come back. Luke Duncan joins.
Like it's Cambodian or something.
You good, man? You know we're doing a video right now, right? I'm about to go down there and tackle that dude. Hey! Hey there, official world. What's shaking? Fat Cat Newton coming at you. Listen, let's talk about something very important. And I'm not talking about Jack and Jaws Ripping Lips 2455 and Big Belly Kelly out of a brush pile. I found Primal Urge Foods. Ladies and gentlemen, what Primal Urge Foods is, it is a monthly meat stick box. Every month you get a box of meat sticks to your door. Retail is probably, I don't know, $30, $40, $14.95 a month. Now you can pick many different varieties. You can pick a surprise box. You get a little bit of this, you get a little bit of that. You get some 24.55 and 5 to 4. No, we don't like antibiotics. No antibiotics. And these right here, completely eagle free. Now the gas stations meat sticks you buy probably have eagle in them. They have rhinoceros in them. But we are Americans. America! We're not eating bald eagles in our meat sticks. Guaranteed, none of these meat sticks have bald eagle in them. That's the #1 reason to buy these meat sticks. You want to get granddaddy a gift? Hey, you're dating a girl. Ooh, she fine as muscadine wine. And you want to warm up with her, I'm getting excited talking about women. I forget what it's. Primal Urge, $14.95 a month. Monthly meat box subscription. It could be called a Bombs box of meat sticks. You just do like I do, and every month the box shows up, and I don't know what's going to be in it, but they're all delicious. The meat right there. That is, I tell you what, that's something good right there. It's girthy. It's Fat Cat Newton, Primal Urge Foods. Please, Ike Live is the code, guys. Ike Live. Ike Live is the code. Okay. Primal Urge Foods. Ike Live is the code. It gets you $5 off a box. Okay.
4.5-inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh. Is he in my pocket?
Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli here.
I love fishing this time of the year. It's cold, it's winter, it's snowing. But if you want to prevent the buildup of ice, use real snot. Every time I'm fishing this time of the year, I put a couple squirts on all my guides, especially the tip, before I start casting. Try that tip when you're fishing under these cold conditions, and you're going to catch more fish. See you later.
There's a special place in our hearts for the tools of the trade. They're what we prep for a good day on the water. They're what we clean after a good day in the field. Flambeau's patented Z-Rust technology protects the gear of today from rust and corrosion. Z-Rust, for the performance of tomorrow. Preserve, perform, repeat.
You work hard to catch your fish. TH Marine has two products to ensure your fish survive. The Oxygenator injects 100% pure oxygen into your live well. That increases fish survival by 35%. For the perfect combo, add G-Juice live well treatment. It calms fish, stops bleeding, removes ammonia, and replaces slime coat. Get an Oxygenator and G-Juice and keep your fish alive.
Folks at home, welcome back to Ike Live. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I know we are. It's been a great show so far. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We got one more great guest coming up. Of course, Luke Duncan of Low Budget Live, good friend of the show, joining us here in the last segment. But it's been a good show, Pete. We got to catch up a little bit. We got to talk to Zach Rushing a little bit. Awesome guy, doing big things right now.
Yeah.
And of course, Brian the Carpenter, we have a MTB unboxing that we're going to do. And I don't know if you knew this, but we are the only live podcast that does an unboxing. Did you know that?
Probably.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Probably.
Super fantastic.
Super fantastic. Let's go ahead and dump right into this and get this out of the way. Pete, this is my favorite part. I'm going to break this seal. Do it with a knife or you can do it with a pen. I have a pen laying here. So get this thing started if I can.
This is the first...
Stab it in the middle. Stab it in the middle, then go out.
It's the first opening of 2020. What's new? What's new, Mr.
You're
Tackle
right.
Box?
This is a new year, opening a new box. I open this thing. Take a look. Oh, I see an oldie but goodie. Let's see. Should I go for that? Nah. You know what? I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go right here. Pete, grab you one.
Oh, I seen it already. I'm glad you didn't grab it.
A lot of nice options in this box. Of course, one of the beauties of a mystery tackle box is the variation of lures that shows up in this box. The thing I always preach, Pete, you hear me talk about it every time, is that there are often things in this box I wouldn't buy myself.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes you look and try stuff. But this one, dude, is there a hotter technique right now, Dave, than Ned rigging?
There is not.
Hold on.
Is there a hotter technique than Ned rigging right now, Dave?
This is going to be a good answer.
What would you say?
I would say based on the sites that I don't go on to show up on my YouTube feed, I would say yes.
Okay.
That's a definite maybe.
That was yes. We've got the TRD Crawl Z, which, Brian, I got to be honest with you, this looks new and shiny, but this is that little Moltlicky crawl that you were throwing like 10 years ago. It's a little crawl. It's the Elastec material. I think it'd be great on a Ned head. I think it'd be great as a jig trailer. And the other thing, it's in a really cool color, Pete. Look at that. They call it Greasy Prawn, which is kind of like that color you were throwing up on the upper Susquehanna.
That white.
Yeah, pretty
white
cool.
base to it.
Pretty cool.
Nice.
Pete, what do you got?
Ned rig. This bait. Where's my camera shot? Over here?
Hold on. What? The other side.
Oh, you want the zoom cam?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I can keep it right here. That's cool.
Here. See where the reels are?
I do. Oh, there it goes.
We're zooming on a jitterbug?
Yeah. All right. I'm telling you.
Okay, go ahead.
We're zooming on a jitterbug.
Wait, hold on. What year is this?
I have some in my display case over there that are wooden.
Get some Pat Benatar on while he explains it.
It's an emotional story.
All right. I'm sorry. Damn it.
You know, stepping all
I
over.
love. Oh, no, that was Joan Jett.
When I was a kid working on the flower farm, as many of you guys know.
Ball now, no, no, no.
Well, here's the deal. That flower farm, it had a pond.
Oh, it did.
Like they all have, right? All
Right.
farms
I
have a
wish
pond.
Duncan
Yeah.
was here with his
And
guitar.
they're all stocked with bass. They all stocked with bluegills.
Stocked.
And and when they dig them, they have to stock with the state stocks.
Chock full.
But when I would go to work, you had to be to work at like 7 or 8 o'clock. And the 7.5% is getting to those guys. But,
the whistle. Everyone knows to get on the plantation. Go
so
ahead.
I'd get up, crack of dawn, and I would, 2 hours before work, and I would fire, because when you ask somebody what lure to buy when you didn't know anything,
Yeah.
they would tell you to buy the jitterbug.
Yeah, or a hula popper, right?
Yeah, and I bought the jitterbug, and I threw it out, and they had a pipe in the back of this pond, and the first quality bass I ever caught there was on a jitterbug when the sun was coming up.
Yes.
In front of that pipe. And it was the most amazing thing.
Ruined
man.
you for life.
It ruined me. Well, it was one of the first real quality moments.
That's
It all happened on a jitterbug.
And then right after you felt the crack of your neck with the whip. Get to work.
Hey, you know what else I found out about this jitterbug? Because I kind of gave up on it, like most people have. Like Jackal's come out with something.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies have come out with something similar. But here's something I don't even know if you know, but smallmouth have an affinity for the jitterbug on top.
Wow.
It's a smallmouth bait.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Today.
Well, I
Top
know
bait.
the Whopper Plopper is for sure, and it has a similar,
Yeah.
kind of a, that's a more,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for crapping on my.
Yeah,
my
the jackal.
Nah, nobody crapped
The
on it.
jackal bait, by the way, is
It
called
came over well.
pompadour.
Pompadour, that's right.
Pompadour. Yep.
What do you got over there?
It's funny because I opened up my MTB box that I got to my house, and I was hoping to see the same bait in here. But my box that I got at home, I actually got a Mullick's the Nano Jig.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Dude, it was a stacked box, and I threw it at Union on yesterday to catch nothing.
Wow. Nice job.
Yeah, but pretty much everything I threw
Yeah.
to catch nothing. I gotta grab this here chatterbait with a hair on the back.
Ooh, a chatterbait with
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Any of you guys ever done that? Done the
No.
chatterbaits with hair?
I have that bait.
Yeah. Have you thrown it?
No.
No.
But I have that. It looks amazing.
It
you know
does
what?
look amazing.
A customer of mine came out with those and caught them very well one trip out on the
Picasso's
flats.
version?
I don't know whose version. I didn't even know. I just noticed it was just a pure hair jig. Put a rubber trailer on it, and it looked amazing in the water, and the fish bit it.
Is that right?
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
No, it looks great. The hair moves all natural. Go ahead,
Dave, what do you got there?
All right, so I got something that's going to take us blast to the past. Get
Further
to
back than the jitterbug?
we're going back to jitterbug times.
I'm going back to circa 1979.
Well, no, I'm not going that far. I'm going maybe 83, 84.
Okay.
I'm going to watch an MTV getting punched in the face by John Cougar Mellencamp. All right, with the boom, da-doom, tsh. Remember when he punched the screen? All right. You guys remember? You guys absolutely remember that video, all right? For those of you our age, for young guys, I'm sorry, but I'm talking about a gator tail. This ain't a gator tail.
It's
This
close.
is something else.
It is close.
All right.
Or
How good is it
Sidewinder.
showing in the screen?
You remember the
Hooktail.
Sidewinder?
This is called This is called the Exo Ribbon, right? 7-inch gator tail, guys. Mike, do you remember the gator tail?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Laser tail, gator tail.
Yeah, before we knew about speed worms, before we knew about skinny dippers, we were reeling these things called gator tails across the top. They
Yeah.
were just a 7-inch worm with a gigantic
Yeah,
tail.
little-
Yeah, and we were just chopping
Yeah.
the surface with them. This is very similar. That makes me think
Wow.
this is Exo Ribbon, 7-inch. You get about 8 of them in there. They're sealed perfectly so that the tail's not going to be crimped or corrupt when you get it.
Corrupt.
Wow.
Thank you.
Pretty cool.
Also in the box is a Booyah square bill.
Booyah!
Some big bite baits. Swim baits.
Like a skinny dipper.
Like a skinny
Yeah.
dipper.
Yeah.
Couple of hooks. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Speaking of cool baits in boxes, my uncle got his first box. He had is it Nishine? What's the one we like?
You got a Nishine?
Dude,
Nishine?
yes.
Really?
The square bill in his mystery tackle
Wow.
box.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
A Chippewa?
A Chippewa. Yes. And the killer color. It's like red, like dark red, black, with a blue belly.
Yeah. Wow.
You got
I
to
was
go
like,
get a mystery tackle box.
Crazy, man.
You got to
really?
get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that bait's juice.
Yeah, it is.
It's really good. It's really good. Pretty awesome. There you have it. Mystery Tackle Box unboxing live on Nike Live. That's what you get to your doorstep every month. Really, 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 really good stuff in there. It's
Groovy.
worth a try. Use the promo code Ike Live, of course, and you get a discount on that as well, which is awesome.
Pete's rusty jitterbug on the message board.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I can't stop looking at these reels, dude.
They're so sexy.
Oh my god,
Let me zoom in on
they
one.
are gorgeous. Look at those things, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at those. Wow, 2 of them, beautiful.
Back to back.
Look at that, like that putty gray color with the red. Oh,
Gunship gray.
man, wow.
Battleship gray.
Gunship. I like gunship.
Yeah.
All right, another update for you, Brian, real quick. I know we got Luke coming on here in a couple minutes. Getting the truck and boat picked up by Mike from VFX this week.
VFX.
Yes. If you're-
VFXwraps.com.
Great company, great guy. He's picking it up, and I want to announce it. I'm not gonna give it away, but I'm gonna tease it, and then we'll talk about it next show. Undergoing a major change in my wrap this year, Brian
are?
Carpenter, boat and truck wrap.
Really?
A major change.
Bash University theme?
Could be. I don't want to give anything away yet. Could have something to do with that. But just want to tease a little bit. Big change coming. Really unique wrap that I'll be running this year.
Really?
Yes. And want to give Mike a shout out even before he wraps it
Hell
on
yeah.
helping us come up with this. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
Ah, man. I can't wait
Yes,
to see it.
Stop
yes.
tapping the table.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Zog, do you know what it is, right?
Zog's-
Hold on, your mic wasn't on.
Zog's off.
Go ahead.
Good
Poor
Zog.
Zog.
Yeah, I do.
You do. Okay.
All right, Zog, everybody.
Zog, give me on a scale from 1 to 10. How do you think this is going to go off?
12.
Wow.
I'm super excited
There
for
you
it.
have it. I am too. I can't wait.
I also got to know where we got these beers from, man. Like mine right here has like a goddamn price tag on it from like the 80s. Look, the one that like, remember? That
Oh,
never
my
worked
God.
retail.
Where do we get this,
I don't know.
Brian?
Look at the price tag,
You
Brian.
got to talk to Z.
Zog, where'd you get this beer at? With the price tag?
Third Base Liquors in Bel Air, Maryland.
Wow.
Dude,
Shout out to third base.
They got the old school one you lick.
Dude, they're pricing each beer in case you buy them individually.
He did. He bought singles.
I did. They
Yes,
only
you did?
they only had 2 of them.
This is
Oh my
and I got
God.
one of them, dude. This is a $4 beer I'm drinking right now.
Wow.
Let's talk about it.
This is amazing. So this
What
is
is
the
it?
Sumatra Mountain Brown. It's a brown ale. If you like brown ales, man, this thing it's heavy. It tastes good, man.
Is it good?
Yeah, very much so. I would love to have this with a filet mignon right now and some mashed potatoes.
Filet mignon.
A flag mignon.
All right, let's call up Luke.
All right, let's get Luke
Cream
on the phone.
spinach.
Wow.
On the front side of Luke here, Pete, his show has been amazing. And I think a lot of it has to do with a little bit what Zach was talking about, which is honesty.
Freedom.
Honesty, right?
Realness.
Being honest, being open.
Turn it sideways, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, just approaching it from a different standpoint. So much in this industry, Pete, we've been in it 20 plus, both of us. So much of it is, almost not bowing down, but adhering to this weird standard. Adhering to this like rule where you got to be scared of people and you got to back down and you got to not say something if you feel
controversy.
Avoid controversy. Avoid it at all costs. And you're always like, oh my God, what's my sponsors going to think? What's afraid of the results of conversation, of your opinion. And what I love about Luke, what I love about what he's been doing, is he's being honest and he's being real, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what you should be doing.
I agree. And my voice is taking a turn here, guys.
I like it.
But
You sound smoky and sexy.
I like that your voice is taking a turn.
But what I love most about it is I love most about TH Marine how they're allowing Luke to do this.
It's great.
And they stood up for him.
Yeah.
In the light of some pressure.
Yeah.
And some drama.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. I really do. I
Yeah.
mean, it was bold of him to do what he did, but it was totally impressive to see what TH did and stood behind the man.
I mean, just in the name of total disclosure, like Luke's sponsors include TH Marine, Slayer, and Fentanyl.
Fentanyl's a good one. That's who wouldn't want that one, you know.
And without further ado,
On that
spokesperson for fentanyl.
We have him here. Hey, he had no idea that's how we were going to introduce him tonight. We didn't either, so apologize for that. We've got him joining us now via Skype. The one and only Luke Duncan, everybody.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
I heard the intro. Come on, Dave.
Big fan, man.
What's going on?
That one definitely wasn't planned. Sorry about that.
Totally fine. Listen, at this point in life, I'll take anything I get.
I like it. I like it. Well, thanks for coming on the show again, Luke. You're one of the guys that has been on this show multiple times. And Brian,
yeah, I love it.
Multiple, yes. And I want to thank you for coming on each and every time. I want to get right to it. Dude, I am very proud of my show. I'm very proud of what we've done in the podcasting world with Like Live. But I got to be honest with you. I've been more into your show the last 2 or 3 months than our own show. I think what you're doing is
real,
is wonderful. I think it's so needed. Honestly, you're pushing the envelope in ways that I'd like us to do more. And so I wanted to start the show by saying thank you for being honest and being real. I mean, I think that's the best thing you can do in life,
Well, dude, I really appreciate that. And you guys know how much I enjoy Ike Live, and I got to come to the studio a couple years ago, and that was awesome. I want to come to the new studio.
We want you.
That's a step up from the low budget live bar and grill here.
I like that one too, though.
This one's fun, but dude, I appreciate you saying that. It's I heard you guys talking before I came on about there is this standard in our industry where guys are scared to say anything, whether you're going to lose your sponsors or or maybe a job.
Yeah.
But and maybe it's a countrywide thing, but Ike, you've dealt with that in the past over your actions or reactions or whatever. You've dealt with that in the past, and it's a shame it has to be that way because I feel like there are a lot of guys that aren't really true to themselves in that regard, And when I was fishing the tour, I was doing the same thing. And this year, when I decided to step away, and several things happened, I just kind of threw it out there. And 99% of the people seem to have reacted positively to the things I've had to say.
Yeah. Well, I think, and Pete, get your opinion on this, but I think, being real, voicing a real opinion, having real thoughts is a scary thing to some people, especially people that, think they have a power position. If that real talk threatens that, it's scary to them. But on the flip side of that, to the average person, right? To your fans, to our fans, to the fans of the show, they're regular dudes, right?
That's right.
We don't have top executives listen to Ike Live. We have regular people, grassroots people listen to the show. They respect that more than anything you could do in the world. And that's where I think the strength of that is people see it. People know real from fake, and they respect it. And I love that about it. Don't you agree?
Well, I do. I love that. And I think, and you said this on your show, and I love your show, Luke.
Thank you, Pete. I love you, Pete. You know that.
I love you too. I wish I could grow a beard like you.
But, we can all dream.
but I've heard your comment on your show about it's hard as balls to make a living in the fishing industry as a pro.
Of course, man.
As a pro.
It is hard. And if you're fortunate, you can get a few sponsors. You're walking the razor's edge. You're so terrified that to speak your mind for fear that you might lose what little edge you have in the sponsor world. It's just, I think that's what keeps people from really being able to open up and speak their mind. Honestly, on Ike Live, it's taken me until last week to where I could really speak my mind for the same fear.
6 years. 6 years, Pete.
It's taken a long time,
building up.
and I think that's what keeps people quiet, don't you?
I do, and look, I've said this on the show. I don't begrudge anybody for not speaking their minds if that's what feeds their family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's certainly that's an issue. But the bigger issue is that people take issue with people speaking their mind or being honest and giving you honest to God opinions about things. And man, I know you guys had Zach Rushing on tonight, and I talked with Zach this week about some stuff, and it's amazing to see what that guy has done, just kind of throwing it out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unedited, just goes. And people appreciate that. I think now more than ever, because with social media, we're being sold to 24 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
Every time you get on there, especially in the fishing world, everybody's got a discount code. Everybody's trying to sell you the new crankbait, the new rod, the new reel. They're doing the sponsored posts. And it's a little bit different than back in the day whenever I grew up, and I got everything from Bassmaster Magazine or a weigh-in stage that I was actually at in person. That's the only time I was being sold to. So this new generation of folks, man, they call BS real quick.
Yeah.
On some of this stuff. So you better be as honest as you can be. And I think that I hope that shows like Ike Live and what I'm doing will show people that it's okay to speak your mind.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's great. And like I said, we had Zach on, and he's a great example of being real and giving real talk. And I think it's powerful, man, when you can do that. Now I'm going to call you the spot on something I had on our last show. It was the last show, Brian the Carpenter, maybe 2 shows before. We had Fletcher Shryock on, and of course, we were kind of we were talking to him about a comment we made. And I was straight up. He made. And I was straight up with him when I said, look, we've been reviewing the comments and we've been looking at what people are saying. I said, Fletcher, it's 80% against what you said and 20% for. Give us, since you've been sort of, letting it out, like, admitting stuff, letting the truth out. Give us a ratio on your comments. People positive about what you're doing and people negative. Give us a ratio. Give us a breakdown of positive.
I would say, and this is honest to goodness, and you can go look for yourself, but I would say mine is 95% positive.
Wow.
To 5%, and that's kind of when all this kind of started coming about this fall, because you guys know I've been doing this off and on for 2 years, and I've done 40 podcasts this year, and these last few this fall have gotten the heat. Whenever I hit upload on the infamous Jim Wilburn episode,
the best one ever, by the way.
Yeah, that kind of kicked this off. I won't say I was nervous, but you never know what to expect.
Yeah.
And the comments were just so unbelievably positive, and every episode since then has been overwhelming. I'll get a few here and there, but man, it's been amazing how positive it's been, which is kind of unusual for the internet.
Yeah.
That is true.
Luke,
Yeah.
I've called Mike and Brian maybe on about, like, Brian and I talk a lot about podcasts, but Mike and I don't. I was the first one in this crew to watch your Wilburn one, and
Yeah.
I called Mike and Brian like nearly immediately. Dude, you need to dial
Yeah.
in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think didn't I hang up with you and then watched it?
Yeah, so you're like, what?
Yeah.
You say what you said. I just say
Yeah. No, it was good. Dave definitely clued me in on that one, and it was good. And again, I don't want to, we don't need to get into specifics, but I want to stress that it's so refreshing to hear, the truth, and to hear true feelings, and not even just about Major League Fishing. Luke, you've had a lot of shit go down, in the last 12 months, and we all have that in life. We all deal with it. And your honesty about that, I could feel it. You know what I mean? When you listen to that podcast, when you're down, your emotions, and you're real about it, I can feel it. And, I can reflect on shit that I got going on in my life that's not so good. Dude, people know that's real, and people appreciate it. I know I do,
Well, I appreciate that, man, and I've said it before, and I'll say it a million times. It's therapeutic for me too, especially with everything I've had going on. To be able to come out to the studio here, my bar and grill, without the grill, and
why no grill, dude?
Turn the mic on, turn the camera on, and just talk, and that's really what my podcast always was. It was just me, especially when I stopped doing so many of the lives and just would turn the mic on and just start talking, and Mike, you called in to one of those one time, and I started just picking the brains of guys that I really look up to and guys in the sport that I admire or just won tournaments or whatever, and just doing these interviews just in my office here at the house, and that kind of turned into this deal where my buddy Craig Darian is fishing on YouTube, suggested, he's like, dude, you should start filming those and just throw them up. Throw them on your YouTube channel, and it's helped, man. It's definitely the amount of people after my mom passed that reached out, either in the comments or through email or DMs on Instagram saying, hey, I lost my mom to cancer, 10 years ago. Hey, my mom's in a battle for her life right now. Hey, I lost my dad. I lost my brother. It was amazing talking to all these people, and it really did help way more than anybody will ever know.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's therapeutic to talk about it. It's therapeutic to write about it. Whenever you have that outlet,
definitely,
it's really good for the soul.
Before you change subjects, to further what you're saying about what Luke's doing, to me, it's in the fishing world, it's the realest thing to an actual podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was talking to Luke about this the other day. Mark Jeffries does more like an ESPN Sports Center type show, and Pat does his morning zoo show, and we're a little bit Wayne's World, and who the hell knows what we're doing?
Yeah.
But Luke's is like like a podcast. It's just him expressing his feelings by himself, having a one-on-one conversation. Again, he just keeping it very real. He's also not afraid to own up,
punch a dude in the face.
Yeah, or or even own up and say, hey, maybe I went too far here or there, or
Yeah, for sure.
And that's dude, that's just being as real as you can be.
It's being human, right?
It's being human. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
And to openly, face that shit, I like it.
Yeah.
So, Luke, what's the status of you and Jim Wilburn at this point?
We're still broken up. He didn't send me anything for Christmas. I didn't get no stocking stuffers from Jim. No, honestly, I haven't. After he reached out about the podcast when I did the Major League Fishing Buys FLW podcast, and the one he reached out to the bosses on, trying to shut it down. And then I did the infamous podcast about him, and he reached back out to the bosses again after that got shut down again. And after that, it's been radio silence. I think that, and look, man, I don't know Jim other than a few business situations and that. And, I doubt we're going to have dinner or anything at the Red Crest.
Well, that's news. That's news. After the podcast, he reached back out to your bosses again.
Oh yeah, again for sure. Yeah, he reached out to both bosses of mine at TH the week after the infamous podcast. Yeah, for sure. One more time, but it is what it is.
I get how do you not hide behind the boxes after that one?
Baby. Hashtag all in.
Hashtag all in.
I don't know, man.
Hashtag all in. I don't know how to say this, but let me just say it then. Do you think the situation that MLF's in, regardless of how you feel about it, the situation that they're currently in, would they be in a way better place if Jim Wilburn wasn't involved in that organization?
Man, I don't think it would be fair to say that they would be in a better place, because I think I've said in meetings with Jim over the years, I think Jim's a really good salesman, right?
No doubt.
I mean, he sold a hell of a lot of sponsorships. He knows a lot about the non-endemic world. So I can't say that I feel like that they would be in a better place. I feel like sometimes maybe he sells the anglers themselves on things that they should look a little deeper into.
Right.
I think that would be fair to say. But look, I'm not one of those guys, so I can't say 1,000% whether or not they would be better off. Man, he's a great salesman, and I think he probably does a pretty good job. I personally had an issue with him, and other than that, I really don't know much about the guy.
Right, gotcha. Now, let me ask you this. This is another spin-off of this. Who's the Jim Wilburn of BASS?
Let's see. Jeez, I really don't know. I don't know. You probably know. You probably have one. I don't deal with those guys. They haven't called my bosses yet.
Hold on, Luke. I love that.
But the season's just getting started.
The year is young.
That's what I want to say. That's what I tried to say to Tim Horton, Gerald Spoyer, all these guys. Is like, look, dude, I've done 40 podcasts this year. I have shit on MLF, FLW, Bass, everybody this year at different points, and I bragged on things that they've all done well. And I mean, hell, I was fishing the tour and talking about things that were going on tour that I didn't like. It just started getting light later this year, and MLF's been in the headlines, right? I mean, they've made major moves by buying FLW, which I was personally a part of, and I don't know. That's why the attention was there this fall. It hit at the perfect time,
Yeah.
So
Get it out of your system now, because once the sponsors start coming in, you ain't going to be talking all that trash. You be like the rest of us with your balls handcuffed to your hip.
This is true.
A handcuff or a nail.
Yeah.
This
Enjoy
is
it.
true.
Enjoy it. Now, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I do want to talk about this just a little more. What's happened in the sport in the last year or so? It is what it is. I think there's a bigger picture that's there. But would you agree with this, Luke? And this is the one thing I still preach, which is the opportunity that the anglers had when all this happened was immense. It was great, right? When guys said, "Look, we're going to stop being mistreated at Bass. We want to stand up for ourselves. It's time to go create something new, right? It's time to go get power for ourselves." When they had that thought, I thought it was the best thing in the world. But then when they went and created MLF and then gave all the power to MLF, it was just the same thing, right?
The devil you know.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It was the same thing. Did professional anglers as a total body, so I'm talking about pro anglers in MLF, BASS, or FLW, did they give away the biggest opportunity that we've ever had in the sport by not taking that advantage?
I think so. I do. And I think it's the reason that organizations like the PAA, which a lot of the younger folks out there probably don't even remember it, but I think it's the reason things like that didn't work, because it got corporate.
Right.
And a lot of the guys that would be in charge of that would go out and sell the PAA sponsors on, "Hey, I'm Luke Duncan, you should sponsor me too." And you would see every guy that would be, high up in that organization as an angler would get all the sponsors, and you had lots of jealousy and things that would play out. And I think there's a reason that didn't succeed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so this for anglers by anglers thing is that's one of the things I asked Tim Horton on the show is, okay, if it's for anglers by anglers, why do you charge a guy X amount if he wants to leave?
Yeah.
To just be happy. To just be happy. If this is one of your fellow anglers, one of your fellow brothers in arms, right? Why do you charge him to leave? And it's because it's a business.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is.
Yeah. What will it take? Will it ever happen? And what would it take to ever unify the anglers in a brotherhood above and beyond the organizations? What would it take? And could that ever happen?
I don't think it can, Mike. I think there are way too many egos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Way too many egos. Yeah. And I think, and that's like that in any sport, right? I mean, the egos are huge, but we are all individual businesses in this thing.
Yep.
And man, I just feel like as long as that's the case and that's how the sport has been, it'll be really hard to unify, say, 200 guys for a common goal.
So I disagree about that. It couldn't happen. So I'm a Teamster, Teamster 676. It would take a overwhelming personality,
leadership,
to crush everyone else's ego to say get in line. Like if KVD decided he was going to form the PAA redo, right? Like somebody like that could step up and say, hey, guys, shut your mouths. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
This isn't 2 years from now. It's not 3 years from now. It's 5, 6 years, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now. This is where we're going to set this thing up for.
Yeah.
They're not going to determine what we do anymore.
Right.
Because without us, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I'd love to see it. I'd love to believe that could happen one day. I hope before I'm gone, I hope I get to see it because that's what the sport needs.
Well, you won't, because as much as Luke, no offense, because you know I like you. I love your country songs. But the Southern guys don't understand the union the way we do, and they control the sport.
No,
they don't
I
get it
get
like we do, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, it takes a yank that understands how this whole thing works.
And that's where it won't happen.
That's where it won't happen.
Whatever, it won't happen. Why do you think wages are the way they are in the Northeast? It's because of the unions. It's not because of anything else.
They're still fighting down there.
Well,
Yeah, we still fight. Yeah, buddy, we're still fighting. We fight over all kind of mess down here.
Still fighting the North.
Still fighting. All right, I do want to switch it up a little bit, Luke. We've got. I started to see the buzz the last week of guys leaving for Florida, guys preparing for the season. You know, I've seen the posts rolling in already of guys practicing. I see lily pads in the background. I'm starting to get the itch already. You've got a 2020 coming up that's going to be different for you. Talk a little bit about that. What are you feeling right now? What are you feeling about it?
Well, as we get, like you said, I'm seeing all the same posts. I'm getting pictures from my buddies. They're wearing flip flops down there.
Yeah.
They're flipping big weights and mats, and I'm sitting here in Tennessee. This year's going to be different. I'm not going to fish. I'm not going to fish the tour. Obviously, I announced that, but I'm going all in with filming. Hashtag all in.
Yeah.
But I'm going in on this YouTube thing and the podcast. I'm going to do as many podcasts as I can. But I'm filming 2 new series. I'm doing the kind of like you're going Ike, but the traveling circus, which I documented all my tournaments last year. I'm doing that this year, but just in more of a fishing show format, just for fun. Going out, I'm going to fish a ton of different lakes, do some saltwater fishing, but try to have guests on there.
Yeah.
We got the first 2. The first episode actually just posted last week from Minnesota. I went up there frog fishing last fall. Had a blast. But I'm doing that. I'm doing a new series called Boats and Pros.
Ooh.
And it's basically a spinoff of the show, but it's an interview style format. But I'm taking guys out in really old, decrepit boats or pontoon boats. Yeah. And we're not fishing. It's all interview, but I did the first one with Swindle. We filmed on Thursday in a 15-foot bumblebee fiberglass boat.
A bumblebee?
A bumblebee, baby.
Wow.
It was really cool. And TH was kind enough to sponsor that series. So I'll be doing one of those a month and then just filming fishing, man. I really last year, between all the business of fishing and what was looming with FLW, we knew that back in May, the potential of that. I'll be honest, by Champlain last year, I was not myself. Brian and I actually talked about this some. And I just wasn't myself, man. And I needed something to kind of kick me in the ass and re-energize my love for fishing.
Yeah.
Because it had really, by Champlain last year, I had taken it on the chin a few times, and I wasn't myself. And even my wife, she's like, man, this is just used to, even if you had a bad event, you came home and you were just proud to be, getting to fish for a living and chase your dreams.
Yeah.
And so I kind of hit the hard reset. And then, of course, everybody, my fall was well documented. We had a couple deaths in the family, and it's just been crazy all over the board. So between that, I gained some perspective, I feel like. And man, with these new projects, I'm like, 2020, I'm super excited. But I'm missing, I'm going to be missing the tour.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Just the competitive side of it. But, man, my love for fishing. I just got back from a trip to East Texas, fishing some of those power plant lakes and filming. I'm just going to do it on my schedule this year instead of FLW.
So now, Luke, 2 questions. Number 1, after Champlain, did your wife really say, "Dude, you better get a 95, or you better stop talking about this fishing shit"?
That's right. Well, she was like, "Thank God you've still got a 9 to 5 because you finished almost last at Champlain."
Second question: did Swindle ever put his nutsack on your drum set back there? Look at that.
He better not. We all know what happens when that goes down.
Yeah, not good. Dudes get buried in the front yard, man.
Yes. That's exactly what'll happen.
Well, I got to tell you that I think what you're doing is awesome. I mean, competitive spirit. If you have that, you're going to miss tournaments. I'm a competitive person too, but I think what you're doing, I think an outlet for your passion is what you need, and that could go through tournament fishing. It can go through guiding. It could go through teaching. Right? There's so many outlets. So I think what you're doing is right on. Let me ask you this from the perspective of the industry. You're a big part of TNH. You see what TH Marine does daily. Is the world changing? Are things changing from the perspective of what's important to a company? And before you answer, I got to tell you, we've seen in the last 6 months so many companies pull resources out of pro anglers. You see guys lose, they're not sponsoring pro anglers anymore. They're taking those resources away and they're redistributing them to other things. Digital content probably being the biggest. Is that something you see? Is that a big change that you're going to see keep happening in the industry? Are companies going to keep pushing toward digital content?
I think so. And it's like we said about getting sold to 24 hours a day because of social media. Things have changed so much, man. And those, for us as professional anglers, those logos on your jersey, those logos on a truck and boat wrap, it's almost, they're not worth as much as some of the digital content some of these people are creating, in my opinion, now. And so I do think you're seeing this huge shift, man. And why do you think you're seeing, a lot of veteran guys, all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, man, I got 17 GoPros now. Swipe up for my YouTube channel." You're seeing guys that have been household names in pro bass fishing forever now. They're having to step up their game. They're being forced to because, companies aren't just taking the standard pro fishing marketing package like we've all thrown out there for years as good to go and writing you a check anymore.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it anyways.
Yeah.
Luke, do you remember the days, Mike Pete, when guys could put real crawl on their fingertips and rub it across their line? And that dude got sponsored for years, man. Like, that dude had a career, bro. That was
real
it.
crawl.
Like, I love putting it on my line and run up the whole line, dude.
Who did that? Rowan?
No, it was, I don't
like
know
a-
who it was,
sounds
but
like
someone
a
did it,
roll.
and I did it, and all it did was gum up your eyes and gum up your line, dude.
The fish are attracted to the line.
Let me tell you right now,
They're trying
yeah.
to eat the line.
I'm just saying, dude, we've come a long way.
I think it was Orlando Wilson.
Oh,
It
man.
might have been Orlando.
Was it Orlando?
Might have been.
No, it was.
really
It
don't
was not. It was like, it was an old Bassmaster that I had watched where a guy had won, and he had talked about how he uses reel crawl to. It was before Real Snot sprayed your line. This guy
Wow.
basically said he put it on his line, and I remember trying it like a buffoon, and all it did was gum everything up.
I'll put that shit on.
I
fell
put it
for
on and smashed it on. It's amazing though, Pete. I think Luke's right. I think the world's changing, because and I won't even say any names, but the big names that got released in the last 6 months. I'm talking about Angler of the Years, Classic Champs, where big companies, I mean top 3-4 companies in the industry releasing these guys. And it's not, dude, they didn't cut them because their budgets got cut. They cut them and put that money someplace else. And I know
That's right.
I know that for a fact, And it's so interesting that where they're reallocating the money is digital content.
And
for the most
I
part.
think the digital content component is key for marketing companies in particular because of its trackability.
Right.
Definitely. That's huge.
Yeah.
You're right. You can say, all right, Ike Live 19/24/17. What's the new code for Ike Live now?
It's just Ike Live.
It's just
Ike
Ike Live
Live across the
Yeah,
board.
it's across the board. But you can track it. right?
Yeah.
Every time that Ike Live code is used,
Yeah.
you can track it.
Yeah.
And the marketing people understand the value, and digital content allows the marketing companies to do that sort of thing. So they're spending where they. So even though an Angler of the Year or a Classic Champ or whatever he is still has a massive impact, because sponsoring him isn't trackable, possibly marketing companies are moving in a different direction.
Well, it's always, marketing is, you can't quantify it, right? Like it's impossible to track your ROI on a lot of these things. But like you're saying, Pete, you throw a code out there. If I tell you I get 200,000 views on a YouTube video, you can go see that for yourself, that it got that. You can see how many people clicked a link, That's something that, at TH we track a ton are the click-throughs. We run an ad on a website. We can see to the number how many people came to our website from your website,
right.
And if it's not turning the numbers you say, well, we can prove that. So I just think that the biggest misconception about marketing, people think that, especially a company like TH that I work for, that you have these just gigantic marketing budgets and you're just swimming in all this money. But that's not the case. And ultimately, a marketing budget, if you don't spend it, it goes straight to the bottom line, straight to profit too. Okay. So you've got to be able to justify that they're spending it wisely, or they're just going to put it in their pocket.
Right.
Okay. Because they don't have to spend it. So it's definitely changing with that trackability.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm curious as to TH. Man, they're really giving you like a loose leash there, man. You're out filming, traveling all over fishing. I thought you were going to be back 10, 12-hour days at the office.
Locked in an office, locked in a cubicle.
No, that'll never be me. That'll never be me. No, so a lot of this, TH, we only work 4 days a week, which is really nice.
What?
But a ton of this, they've always worked 4 10s at TH Marine.
But I would kill for 410s.
Yeah, 410s, but luckily, all my job is travel. For the most part. So I'm not in my office a lot, but I do. I'm away from home a ton. I get to work from home a lot. I'm fortunate in that. So it all kind of balances out. The sacrifices you make being on the road, I get to balance that with being home some. So I get to film on some of those days, but a lot of my stuff is just like everybody else watching this. It's on the weekends, man.
Yeah.
I make it happen, get 2 or 3 days, make it happen, get as much content as I can, and then store it away like a freaking squirrel.
Do you do your own editing? Do you have somebody helping you?
Have you ever watched my videos? Hell yeah, I do my own editing. No, so on the vlog stuff, the kind of typical YouTube vlog stuff, I do that. And actually, my son Charlie helps me with that some. He's 16, and he helps me. He's really into that kind of stuff, so he's helping me. And but now I've got a guy this year. The Traveling Circus, the full-on 4K, the 30-minute episode deals. A guy named Tanner Lyons is filming and editing those for me, and he's also doing the Boats and Pros episodes.
Boats and Pros.
I like it.
Boats and Pros.
Sing it, Luke.
Pros.
Where's your guitar? Sing Boats and Pros.
It's over there in the corner behind the Swindle drum kit.
This highway.
The ball sack drum kit.
Come on, that's my song, dude.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking for a grill for that bar, just call Traeger. They'll give you one.
Yes, it is. Yes, I've got one. It's just outside.
Oh, it's outside.
But they will not sponsor you.
They'll give you plenty of grills.
They look like they sponsor everybody on Instagram.
Product deals for everybody.
Everybody's hashtag Traeger.
Yes, in kind for everybody. Come on, let's grill. Luke, I got to tell you, so what you're doing is awesome, and I want to be you with the total openness.
Can I back you up before you close this up?
No, I'm not closing it up. But I want to say something real
All right,
quick.
go ahead.
I am going to write another book. Within the next few years, I'm writing another book. And when I write that book, I'm going to let everybody know this, listen to this right now. I'm coming clean on everything in this book. I'm not holding back on anything.
I don't know if we can be
friends. Wait.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Well, Mike, if I'm in it, can you at least give me the honor of spelling my name right? And I spell it like Pete's.
I will. I will definitely spell your name right. And we might even have to come out of the closet with Brian's white panel van.
It was a great workshop.
If Pete bails on you because you rat him out on a bunch of stuff he's done, I'll be your co-host.
Oh my God, Luke, we need you in studio when we talk about the panel.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that.
Another character's just been created.
Panel van.
Brian's van.
White creepy van.
Wow. There's a ghost, there's a Huffy, and now there's a van.
Oh my God, the van, dude.
So
I don't know if the statute of limitations allows us to talk about the van.
Man, it had a slider on it too. That thing would,
Fucking man.
every time that thing would close, it would just like creepy, like.
Oh yeah.
Like little kids locked in there. It was terrible.
Oh God.
Take it easy.
I have Luke. Do you want to hear a great story about Brian and his van? I can tell this one.
This is about.
So hold on. One time, Brian.
You can tell this one.
No, this is a good one.
Brian.
Let me get a
all
beer.
right. So, all right. So, Brian got. I don't know if Brian got poisoned or what, but he passed out at my house one time, and I call his beautiful wife Heather. And I say, like Brian needs help. His panel van was in my driveway, and I said, Brian needs
fetal
help.
position in your front yard.
He had so he had Brian's ghost spawned from this episode because there's a picture of Brian nearly dead in my front yard, Luke, and there's like a spirit, like a cloud above him in the picture. Back in the day, guys, for young people listening, there was no cell phones. We took pictures with wind up instant cameras that were sold in a bag.
Film, actual film.
Who'd you film,
And they captured ghouls, unlike cell phones do. They captured the ghouls. And there's a ghoul hanging over Brian. That's what Brian's ghost was. Seriously, it's Brian's spirit guide watching out. I'm disappointed again. So he had a hot date with the wife, and I'm okay. I'm okay enough to call her. Where I'm not like, I feel pretty good. I'm not going to get in trouble. Because her and I are friends. I love her. She's a good person anyway. So I'm like, Brian needs to get out of here. Like, he can't drive himself. So she sends her cousin to come get him, right? So her cousin gets him. We load him in the back of his panel van like freight, and we laying him back. We're all like, his panel van had like all kinds of tools and screws and nuts and boards and it was all the walls were like
Shelves.
equipment for his work. Yeah, it was shelves.
Shelves.
Well, she never drove that van before. Her name is Stacy. Right? She's got flaming red hair. She's a cool person. So she takes him home, dude. And he was covered in like nuts, bolts, screws, and hammers. Like when he got home, he was completely
Cans
hammered.
of fucking stain falling off the shelves. She's hitting speed bumps in an F-150 or an E-150 Econoline Ford van.
Hold on.
You can't be trucking speed bumps in
So
that.
his wife tells me he falls out of the van. He's in the driveway. She's pissed because they got to go somewhere, and he's hammered. And she's squirting him in the face like a dog with the garden hose. And he's sticking his tongue out trying to lap the garden hose water while she's fucking squirting him. Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. Great story, man. That's just one story from the panel van.
Gotta hydrate.
Wow.
That's how you
like you need to
communicate
bring
with
that
Luke
back,
when you
Ryan.
tell him your deepest secrets.
I love it.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for that story. That was
That's a good story. Come on, man.
That was good. Did you have something, Bri? You forgetting it?
No, I don't forget. I was going to take us back to Bass and MLF, and I don't know if we really want to do that. I was just saying, you guys all left Bass for a particular reason. You were tired of a certain way you were being treated.
Yes.
What is to protect you guys? You talked about, we could have formed a union. We could have this. We could have that. We didn't. We just all went over there and entrusted ourselves. What's to protect you guys, or all you MLF guys, from the same thing happening? What is lined up when you sign a contract with MLF? They have lawyers that write contracts that make you sign specific shit that covers their ass.
Right.
What did you guys do to make sure that everything that's promised is going to be delivered? That everything, all the hours that are supposed to be, like just everything.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Or are you just walking into the next situation where maybe you weren't happy with the way things went at Bass.
Yeah, I think for the most part, you know, everybody just walked into it with blind faith and trust, you know, and that's a shame.
That's dangerous.
Well,
it's dangerous,
especially when you're dealing with really talented salespeople.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Any relationship is like that. You got to walk. You got to have blind faith, because the contract, no matter what contract you have written, it's still a promise from one party to the other, and it doesn't. You know, the contracts are all going to be, you know, legalized. They're going to be fought. It's about having that trust. But what I think that was bold is that the first time, I think, in the history of our sport, the anglers did get together.
Right.
They did make a movement.
Yep.
Right? I think that's a huge step, because back in, you know, before my time, I talked to you about, you know, the classic Ray Scott story where the anglers were able to get their jerseys back. And then we had the PAA. We had all kinds of issues where the anglers could not get together, but the mass body actually made a movement.
They did.
Was it the movement that we needed? I don't know. But I think it was a big step.
Yeah.
I think it was a big step. I think hopefully everybody learns from it.
Well, I think there's a lot of positives that came from it too, right? I mean, I know on my show I've dwelled on a lot of the negatives, but I've also talked about the positives too, and that, you know, Bass got their shit together.
Because I'm going to tell you why I was laughing so hard, dude. Mike, there's no less than 15 amazing Brian's Van posts come through, but I got to clean the beer up I just spilled before Becky comes back up.
I saw the beer spilling all over the floor. She'll love
Full
that.
beer that topped over.
Founders wouldn't have done that.
Go ahead, Luke. I'm sorry.
But no, I think that this move, I mean, it caused Bass to, you know, to get their shit together, to kind of gather their thoughts, and I think they had one of their best seasons ever this year.
Yeah,
truly, and I've talked about that, but you know, and new characters are going to emerge, new talent is coming up through the ranks, and for the most part on tour this year, I felt like we at FLW, before, you know, they sold, I felt like we were striving in these angler panel meetings we were having with the brass, with 15 of us in these meetings at every tournament. I felt like we were making changes based off of things that they were reacting to because of the big push when everybody left for BPT, you know. And then, of course, none of that matters now. But, you know, there were some good things that came out of it. So we'll just, you know, we'll see what the future holds with all of it, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to predict the future. I do think.
No, you can't, man.
I know you can't. I think what you said, though, I think in a long term, when we look back, I think that all happening is going to be a good thing for the sport. When we look back on it, you know?
Everybody's going to look at this and say, wait a minute, we made Bass change.
Yeah.
We made MLF change.
Yeah.
We made major changes in this industry by moving together.
Yeah.
I hope that's the lesson.
I hope so too. Yeah. I do hope so
I think
too.
the biggest thing for me, and I talk about it all the time, is MLF, they've got to figure out how to get the hardcore fan on their side, you know, and it seems that a lot of the times that's not their focus.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
From day one, even. And look, man,
I'm still
you
waiting
can
for my
call.
first
I
phone call
see
from
I see guys in articles and all over the place, interviews, different things. If you don't like it, you're a hater. Well, that's not necessarily fair, right?
Yeah.
You're not a hater if you just don't like. We all love bass fishing.
Yeah.
BPT MLF is bass fishing. We should all love it if you love bass fishing. But if you can't jive with the format or you can't get into what's going on, doesn't make you a hater. Just means you prefer the other better. So I feel like for them to really push this thing into the future, they do have to walk that line of sticking to their values, to their ideas, to their format, which they do strongly believe in. And it's not all bad, right?
Yeah.
But figuring out how to bridge that gap between that and your traditional guy, like my dad, that just doesn't give a damn about it whatsoever. He liked it as a TV show, hates it as a fishing tournament, you know. So and I think this year, we've already seen that. Press release came out, format changes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that willingness to change
I think
is a good
there
thing.
should be a willingness to adjust and adapt until they dial it in and get it right. I mean,
Absolutely.
look at your podcast. It took you a while to
course.
figure out your spot. It took us forever to figure out our spot.
Yeah.
I think they can't expect to kick it off in the first year and have it all
No.
done. Bassmaster used to put their fish on freaking stringers.
Yeah.
No
and
doubt.
weigh in everything.
They did.
So it takes a
Drag 'em
while to
across the
dial it
concrete.
in, and that's okay. There should be an adjustment period, and for everybody hating on them over the top, that's ridiculous. Let them figure their shit out. Myself, what offends me is the battle between the two, one trying to kill the other.
Yeah.
That's most
that
of my
pisses
issue.
me off because I like both. I didn't like it when Bassmaster shit on FLW and acted like they didn't exist. I thought that was childish. I don't like it when MLF is coming out to attack bass. Like, I like a 5 bass limit. You already sucked up FLW. What, are they going to take Bassmaster away? Well, I don't get to enjoy 5 bass limit tournaments. That's a fucking problem for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to limit your anglers from attending the Classic, that's a big fucking problem for me.
Yeah.
I loathe that. So they need to just focus on getting their shit right and stop worrying about the other guy and stop worrying about trying to play corporate, big tough guy. And dude, just do your thing.
Yeah.
Make your shit right.
A lot of people in business, though, that's how they operate. It's like
they can go fuck
in order to
themselves.
succeed, you must kill. You
Yeah,
must kill the competition.
that's America, man. That's America.
I'm
at this
blue collar,
point.
so I
Especially
hate that guy.
corporate America. and
Yeah.
I hate it.
I
hate
love
it.
them. If you're listening, I got nothing for you.
Does anybody want to laugh?
Hey, Mike, I know this is your show, but I want to ask you, what did you think about the format changes?
The format changes,
On the minimum.
Yeah, I had a mixed opinion about it because half of me, I think what Brian just said, I think I agree with, which is keep changing, keep working through things until you find something that everybody likes, right? So from that perspective, if that was the majority vote, if the majority of people wanted it, I think it's a good thing. But from a selfish perspective, I think MLF it's different because of their format. I think, that's what makes MLF unique. So, every fish over a pound counting, I loved it. It fit my style. I think it makes it stand out. I think people that don't watch the sport, when they see a guy catch 70 pounds in 3 periods, that's so impressive. When they see somebody catch 5 fish that weigh 12, that's not as impressive, right? To a person that doesn't fish. So from a selfish standpoint, I don't like the change. I want every keeper to count, every 1 pound fish to count. So to change it to 2 or 3 pounds or 4 pounds, I don't like that, to be honest with you.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, you go to a 3-pounder, that's a big damn keeper.
It's a giant keeper. You're going to see a lot less fish weighed.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It changes the game. But I'm going to keep playing the game when I'm there.
So they're changing it to what?
They've changed it.
It's a varied deal depending on the lake, right?
Variable weight. So they're going to, in advance of the tournament, they're going to tell us what the minimum weight is for that event. And they keep making this golf comparison, where golfs have different pars.
Different pars, yeah.
Right? So,
Oh, God.
So for Eufaula, they've announced, because we're already within the 30 days, they announced that it's a 2 pound minimum for Eufaula.
So it's presumptuous based on what they think it should be.
What they think it should be. And who's setting that, right?
Luke, attack.
Like, who's doing it?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So for Okeechobee, it might be 3 pounds. For a place that sucks, it might be a pound and a half. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was things that were
Yeah, they said Fork, St. Lawrence River, like 3 pound, 3 pound keepers.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I gotta weigh
But
in.
you guys gamed the system too quick.
Yeah.
You guys figured it out way too quick in the first season and gamed it, and everybody threw their big rods away, their big baits away, and it's going to be. I don't know. That's what it became. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna say this because right now one of the biggest criticisms of that is the confusion of the tournament. The tournament scenario. It's like, how do you qualify for this cup? How do you qualify? Now we have a whole nother variable on the size of the fish, how we compare them to each lake. I don't know. My initial observation is, man, it's going to add a little bit more confusion.
It's going to be confusing.
I'm confused, and I fish in that league.
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
I can say for me personally, the 1 pound would have fit my strategy and tournament career a lot better than 3 pounders.
Yeah, I think a half a pound would suit me.
Yeah, yeah. Give me them 10 inchers.
Any fish counts.
Yeah, any fish.
28 pound striper,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Sturgeon, whatever.
Any fish counts. All right, Dave Brodzik, you got something?
Yeah, so the IM's lit up about Brian's van.
Oh.
All right, Luke.
They don't give a shit about this bad sound shit.
Hey, Luke, Patrick the fireman wants to know if you think that in Brian's van are the blueprints for the 6 cents crankbaits that the Googans are making a fortune off of.
Yes, probably. They're probably in there.
Brian's van wants to know, what do you think? How much chloroform was actually in the van?
Half gallon.
And Brian's creeper van is letting you know what his playlist was, and some of it was the Mr. Softy music, the turkey in the straw, do your ears hang low, and pop goes the weasel. Hang on, there's a whole lot more on the other side that I already pushed through. For those of you not dialed into the Ike Live board, get on it, because someone did a Scooby-Doo van, and it says Brian's ghost driving him home, passed out in the back of his E350. Hold on, there's more. There's a whole lot more.
Oh, this is great. Every show, a Brian's character is being created. This is unbelievable.
Oh, God, dude.
Wow.
Grand Lake, Labrador, didn't Lefebvre pull his boat with Brian's van one year?
He did. Yes, he did.
Oh, my God.
It's true.
It's facts.
All right.
All right. Enough of this.
Brian,
Luke,
did you give Lefebvre a memo deal?
Brian's van.
The van was a memo deal.
It was a delay deal.
Scooby-Doo said, so you stole our van?
Luke, I'm excited. I'm excited for the new projects you got coming. Very excited for boats and pros. It almost made me say host. Stop that. Boats and pros and traveling circus. Very excited to see some of that. I think that's the future. I think what you're doing is the right thing. Digital content is the right thing. So I can't wait to see some of that stuff. Wish you the best filming all that, man.
Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. And thank y'all for having me on, always being so kind. And I can't wait to get up there.
Come on.
And slap Dave around a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we want you up here because, listen, you could knock out 3 things. You could do a night live show. You could do a traveling circus. You could do a boats and pros. You could do all 3 and get it done in like 3-4 days. It'd be great.
You could also try out Great Land Labrador's new beer, the Founder's White Van IPA. White Van IPA.
That come through?
Dude, I'm going to put it through right now. Grand Lake Labrador, send some information. You're getting something.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
He just won.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The White Van IPA?
Sorry, Luke. What slap me around for? I'm the biggest fan of yours on this damn set, and you're going to slap me around?
I'm just kidding, Dave. I'm your biggest fan, too.
Yeah, like, how about you have a beer together? Slap me.
It's a Southern thing.
All right. Well, thank you.
We're
Then
not
I appreciate it. Even I don't know.
Slap me. Luke, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thank you, guys. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go do that. Luke Duncan's Traveling Circus, where all the goods are at.
Right on.
Do it right now.
Do it
Subscribe.
Right now.
Right now. Because we're
Right
ending
now.
this
Thank-
podcast anyway as soon as we get off the phone with you. So. Do it
Thank
right
y'all
now.
so much. I really appreciate it.
Luke
Good luck
Duncan,
this-
everybody.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Hey, same to you guys. Thank y'all.
See you, Luke.
Parade wave.
Yeah.
See
Yeah,
ya.
Miss America.
Dude, Brian's van.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but we hang up with Luke Duncan, right? Most popular podcast. All we're going to talk about is the van. Dude, come on, Mike. The van. Two shows in a row. You bring up gold.
The Huffy and the van.
Oh, my God.
It's unbelievable.
We're going to do a bike build.
You used to put boats in the back of that van.
On the side. On
Yeah.
the side.
Yeah.
So I could fit that 10.5 foot bass tracker or Raider or whatever that was. I still have. But I could stand it up on edge and slide it into the van.
Yeah.
All the way in, all the way to the front, and shut the doors. Throw the battery in there, the trolling motor, and I'm creeping, baby.
Wow.
Creeping.
Unreal,
Yep.
dude. That thing was.
The sound of that door shut. How many nightmares is that for those people?
It's like.
Yeah. It's like Darth Vader coming through a door, like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, whenever he came through a door, it was glorious, right? But it would be the opposite for whoever got shut behind it.
Nobody got shut behind it.
Don't worry.
The only person that got fucked up in the back of that van was me.
That door was like the beginning.
Another round of IPAs.
Shout out to Founders.
Oh my God, Brian's White Van IPA. Founders, come on. Can you imagine that? A white van? Would they have the guts to do that? A white van with like the door open. Founders White Van IPA.
All right, let me let's what do we
Help
do
us.
this Brian Carpenter, do we do this during the show or we announce this later? The winner to the Ike Live Facebook
we're doing
like
it later.
All right, we're doing
Zach
that later.
was supposed to pick it, but later I didn't
that's
tell
all right.
him.
We're gonna do that later. The reels, Brian the Carpenter. We're gonna see some amazing contest in the next week on this
coming week.
These one of a kind Ike Live Abu Revo reels. Keep your eye out for it.
There you
And
are.
how many we have of these? A dozen?
Don't worry about it.
All right, we got a lot.
We'll talk about it.
All right, there it goes. Look at the hands creeping in for him already. Look at that.
Are we giving the reels away? What are we doing?
There we go.
Don't worry about it.
All right, sorry.
Dave, be good. You might get one here before you leave.
I want to invite people.
All right.
Invite people.
Yeah, we got to invite people to come down to the Bassmaster Classic.
Oh, we do. You want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, I just I've been talking to the folks at Bass, and I got a schematic of where our booth's going to be.
Oh, how's it look?
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
Good location?
We're right next to TH.
Bass you or Ike Live?
Both. We're all together. I hope you're going to be here this year.
I'm trying.
Dave, come on, Dave.
No, I'm closest this year than I've ever been.
Dude, this is a big one.
Yeah.
This is a big one for us.
50th
Come on, we need
anniversary.
you, Dave. We need you,
50th
man.
anniversary. We're going to be there right in the hall. We got Pure Fishing on one side, Bass Cat. We got all the great companies all around us.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. It's going to be a big one. Listen, if you attend the Bassmaster Classic, please come by and see us. Do we have a booth number yet? Because we have Bass University, we have Ike Live, Ike Foundation. We're all going to be represented this year.
I don't know.
Might have a booth number. As soon as we get a booth number, we'll give it to you. Come by and see us. It's going to be a great time.
Jerry from New Hampshire, send your stuff through. Mike, you got to see this when the show ends. Jerry from New Hampshire, send your information in, please.
Jerry. Shout out to Jerry.
I wish I could put this up on our screen.
Booth 2223.
2223 is our booth number.
Which one's that? The Ike Live one?
Yeah, very excited. Very excited. And
I'm done doing IMs. I can't do that.
And possible rumor that we might have the Ike Live boat build. Is that true, or is that in the works, or is that not happening?
We're going to see if we can fit it.
Oh, okay.
If we can fit it, we're bringing it.
Okay.
We will definitely have an X24 there. I don't care what I have to do on Craigslist to get one.
Wrapped from Mike from BFX. All right, Brian Carver, do we have anything else? You want to wrap this up?
I'm done.
I think it's good. I'm done too. Let me thank everybody right now for tuning in. It's been a great show. I want to thank Pete Glusick, Brian Carpenter, Dave Brodzik, and Zog for joining us tonight.
Yo, Zog.
Zog's the best one so far.
Also want to thank our special guest tonight, Zach Rushing and Luke Duncan. Want to thank those two guys for coming
Big fan
on.
of both them guys.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Zach Rushing,
It's been a great
amazing.
show. Let me remind everybody, if you want to catch up with old episodes, Brian the Carpenter, lots of ways to get it.
That's right.
IkeLive.com, iTunes, what else? Stitcher. It's everywhere, right?
Facebook,
TikTok.
YouTube.
TikTok,
Get a
YouTube,
YouTube
Facebook,
channel. Yep.
wherever you want.
And again, guys, look for the contest coming this week on our Ike Live social medias for that reel.
For that reel, it's going to be good.
Well, not that one.
Not that one. Pete's
That's right.
taking that one.
Pete's not.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Bye.
You got to come.